What's going?
And when we whoop enough ass, everybody gonna get it
Ustedes
around.
ven, ustedes este para allá en la habitación, apaga esto, la TV, pero este para la casa,
All
la
right,
habitación.
peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum, shalom. Welcome, family. Welcome, everybody, to the chat. We got Twin Pyramid in the house. We got Deacon of Reality in the house, and we got Brother Emil in the house. Peace and blessings to my panel. We got Sister Cassie, Realm in the Bush, and Brother Isaiah from the DR. And our topic tonight is the shame of the brokenness of the Black family. Ooh. The shame of the brokenness of the Black family. These things that we're going to be addressing tonight, because as I was thinking on this topic, understanding that the nucleus is the Black family. If the Black family is not strong, the enemy will destroy us very, very quickly. And everything that we try to do to rebuild will just go to waste. I want to welcome Brother Willie Rivers to the program. Peace and blessings, Brother Willie. Also, and just to let everybody know, we're just getting back because YouTube had gave us a strike for the video that we did last Saturday, the conversation we had last Saturday. They gave us a strike, so we couldn't broadcast, and they took the video down. And their claims was that we were talking about vaccines, and we were going against what the World Health Organization said about vaccines. And that was not our topic. We never discussed that. And so I appealed it, and we still lost. But, you know, this is war. This is war that we're in. And so the enemy is going to do things like that. But I want you all to, Sister Cassie, if you can drop your channel in the thing, because if we're not here and if Sister Cassie channel is available, we will be on hers. So at least the message can be continually given out, and we don't have to be shut down because the enemy shut us down. We got to make sure that the message is continually getting out, and it is the proper message. And when we stop and think about it, that we are effective. That's why they do the things that they do to stop us, and to even outright lie and say we were talking about vaccines when that was not what we were talking about. But if our people listen to this program and understand what's being said, what's being taught, you'll go away a whole lot better person than you were when you first got here. And that is the reality that the enemy knows, and the reality that the enemy desires to shut that down, desires to cut off our voice. But I'm going to go ahead and let my panel introduce themselves. We'll start with Sister Cassie.
Well, hello, family. How's everybody doing? I hope we're good. I am an author of a book, A Mother's Love, and also the CEO of Realm in the Bush. And I got some product. I want to show y'all this. I got this cup. I hope y'all can see it. We got next, y'all. Look. And I made a cup and a shirt. I had to get it. So, yeah, but we're an author, and we are Black first. Black first. Go ahead, I pass.
Definitely. Thank you, Sister. Brother Isaiah.
Hey, what's up, Sister? Cassie, what's going on, baby? Cassie, you hear me? Well, there we go. Look, my name is Isaiah Israel, the author of the best-selling book series. I'm good. We good. We doing what we do here in the Dominican Republic. You know how I go. Black first, baby. But yeah, my name is Isaiah Israel, and I believe I'm not the most intelligent person in the world. God bless that person, but I'm sure in the hell not the dumbest. But I have a lot of great common sense. If I can say anything about me, It's very hard to find somebody with more common sense than me. And if you do, please let me know. But the name of my book is called The White Man's Burden of Lies and Deceit, available on Amazon. And it features a white woman with a tail, and I'll throw it right there.
All right. Thank you, Brother Isaiah. You know, it is definitely always good to be around good authors. And everybody know Doc, as well as being a professor, he's an author as well. And one thing that I like when I'm talking with people who write books, authors, is that they have, depending on what kind of books they write, they have a knowledge that's like a fountain that you can't cut off, you know, and I like to tap into that and hear what they're thinking, hear and understand what they're saying so that we can use it to build. We can use it to build. If you ever wondered about the initiative and some of the things where we get ideas from, is because I'm listening to authors. And as they're dropping their vision of what they see to help our people be successful, if I can figure out how to make that work and bring it to fruition, that's exactly what I do. So always being around good authors who write about our issues and how to fix them is a plus to all of us. It is a plus to all of us because they help make us all better. They help make us all better. And so I'm definitely glad to be surrounded with good authors. So again, the title of our program today, The Shame of the Brokenness of the Black Family. The Black family is the core of who we are. It is the power base of who we are. And once that is destroyed, once that is broken, then in reality, we are broken, we are destroyed. And so we're going to look at several instances of different types of destruction of our family and come away with some genuine answers of what to do. Give me 1 second. Sister Cassie, let me run to you right quick. Can you explain or can you tell us about when you hear the title, The Shame of the Brokenness of the Black Family? What comes to your mind?
Wow, what comes to my mind is exactly what the title says, The Shame of the Brokenness of the Black Family, which was done on purpose, you guys. And it was done because they knew and they studied us and they know the effects of taking our men out the homes so that our baby boys or our children don't have that leadership or that mentor. So they understood the result of when they took the men out the home, and the brokenness came because we allowed it. And the brokenness continues because we continue allowing it, not learning their tactics. That's the sad part about it, because we'll see a black face and we automatically assume that person has our best interest. But over the years, we should understand that just because you see a black face does not mean that they have your back. So when I look at a broken family, I look at what they've done on purpose, but I also think back on us allowing it and continuing to allow it and not separating it and not getting so upset about what we're seeing with our babies and us not doing anything. That's the continuation of the brokenness. I pass my mic.
Thank you, Sister Cassie. Thank you. Brother Isaiah, what do you think when you hear that title? We can't hear you, Isaiah.
I had it on mute. There's a lot of things that go through my mind when I hear that. It is a point in our history where our family consisted of the Trinity, man, woman, and child. That's where I come from. It had nothing to do with the God on the outside of you, but the God on the inside of you. And the black woman and the black man are, or we are, the parents of humanity. Everybody comes from it. But if you go further back and then forward that to the times of Ma'at and whatever to the present day, you'll see a progression of denial, of deceit, of lies, and the on purpose destruction of the black community and the black family. And that was done on purpose. And the integration is one of the things that really put us under the bus. During the time of Tulsa and all of the other Black Wall Street, we were the richest people in America. That's not talked about. White folk were broke. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Broke politically, broke economically, and broke spiritually. They didn't just get to where they are just by pulling themselves up by their bootstraps. They had the government helping them. And this is where we go into, what was it called? Where the government was giving land away and equipment and seeds and cows. I forget the name of it. But black folks didn't get anything. And so during the war, after World War II, and you got FDR and the VA for those who served in faraway lands, the American soldiers, they came back and they were able to get loans. And then you go through redlining and all of that, that played a part in it as well. The white woman who brought up the thing about women's rights and so on and so forth, the white woman had problem with her man. The black woman never had problem with her man. But somehow, some way, we got tricked by that into thinking that it was best for black women to get with white women to fight for black women liberation. There ain't never been a time in our community and in our history where the black woman was not only the queen but a leader in the army and uh, uh, um, the roles of being somewhat of a president or a prime minister or pharaoh or anything like that. It's always been open to that discussion and that avenue for growth for our women. We've never limited women, period. That's the white man version of what he feels to be the central family structure. So our structure has always been around what we know is true. That is the black man, the black woman, and the child. And the solidity of that family is what we need to go back to. And if you, I've said this many a times before, what is, was, or was, shall be, and our greatness lies in our past. We must adhere to our ancestral voices. That's it. Don't make this complicated because it's not. Everything that we need to know has already been known and done. We just need to repeat it and never let go because once we get used to the power of unity, political unity, economic unity, spiritual unity, there's nothing that's going to stop. And so we are the ones who are stopping. Sure, they can come up with laws, policies, and regulation like they did with black law. What was it? The black code and redlining and all of it. But that white folks always try to cheat. Don't ever think that they won't. They can't compete with us on an even level playing field. You got to get that into your heart, soul, and mind, black man, black woman, and every other person of color. You can see that right now in the Middle East. They just gotta kill you in order to try to be somewhere and get somewhere because they're weak-minded. I just found out, not to get too far off the subject, that Israel just got up, Israel just surrendered the war. What the fuck? Ain't that a bitch? A baby pressure on their ass would get them up off of you. They can't fight. They have a mind of a 5-year-old, and their children trapped in a grown-up body. You got to get that into your mind. They playing with you. They playing the Wizard of Oz game and blowing smoke up your ass. I throw it back.
All right, thank you, Brother Isaiah. You know, I want to deal before we get into the video. I want to deal with that topic of integration. Because, of course, a lot of our people don't understand, especially the youth of today. They don't understand when we say that integration was a bad thing for us. They don't understand why we would talk against something that, in the way that they see it, that made our lives so much more better. So I want y'all, Sister Cassie, to address this situation of integration. What are your thoughts on there? What would you tell our youth who say, y'all crazy? Integration was what we needed. Integration got us riding on the front of the bus. Integration got me having this good job. Integration gave us everything that we never had and could not have had except through integration. How would you answer that?
Woo, I'm going to tell you what I tell my granddaughter, right? Integration was the absolute worst thing that could have happened to Black people. And I'm going to tell you why. God never intended it for us to be mixing and mingling with nothings. Okay. These people aren't even equivalent to us. So we'll give up a 10 to go to a piece of trash, to a 0. Okay. And when I talk about segregation, integration, what I mean is we were never, every time we come with them, every time we come together with them, it ends up in being something traumatizing, toxic, disease. You're being sick all the time. You lose everything because you ain't never supposed to be with them in the first place. Okay. A lot of our Black folk got sick doing, well, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna go there. Anyway, let's just go past that point because I don't want to.
No. Say what you're gonna say. Say it. Cause we gotta hear it.
That's right. Don't hold back. We at war. Let it loose.
No, I ain't.
We at war. Let it loose.
Let it loose, baby. Let that line of truth loose.
Get me in trouble. I'm trying to get nobody in trouble. So we're gonna just bypass that. But you understand what I'm saying? A lot of times things happen to us because we mixing and mingling with them. Everything about them is for your demise. These white women having these babies is for our demise because they're not reproducing. They're not procreating. Okay, so they need to use our bodies, and we're helping them. And that's the sad part about it because we're not, like I keep saying, we're not learning their tactics. When you learn their tactics, you'll understand that by you having a baby for them, you're recreating enemies for my granddaughter. Okay. Mm-hmm. Some of these kids don't understand. They're looking at now, but we have to look way back when Black folk came together and loved on each other. Black folk trusted each other. We were there for each other. We had each other's backs. Then you started mixing, mingling, integrating. You know what I'm saying? And all of this other crazy stuff. And you seem to think that because you got a job paying $12 an hour, but guess what? Black Wall Street, they was owning everything. Like my brother said, Black Wall Street at that time, Black folk was at the richest point of their life. So what happened? Our ancestors separated us, right? And told us, okay, I want you over here. I know what's best. What did we do? We had our own hospitals. We had our own businesses. We had our own land. We had our own everything. And we gave that away to come back up under them when our ancestors had freed us. And what did we do? Children of Israel, we went backwards. Back to Egypt. For what? Thinking their ice was colder? But finding out it's coming out the same pipe. So how is it colder? It's the same damn, it's the same water, it's the same ice. Okay. So it's nothing no better than what you have. But when you allow your enemies to educate you, they're going to, of course, show themselves to be better. They're going to show themselves to be stronger, just like they telling us, oh, it's more of us than you. It's not. It's more of us than them because a lot of them died off and they're still dying every day. Look at the opiate generation. Look at all of this. Mm-hmm. So, but they have you convinced that it's more of them than us. But no. So we have to get back to the basics of understanding that these people are not friends. God called them serpent people, but you want to call who God called serpent people friends. How are you going to call enemies friends? Mm. And then you turn around and mixing and mingling with them, having their babies. I see these NFL players, and I'm going to go there because I see them with but all of them got white women. Now, the Black woman didn't struggle with your sorry behind, okay? And then you didn't turn around. Now you want a white woman because you say, oh, she's better than what you got, a Black woman. Ain't nothing, no way, no shape, no how a white woman better than a Black woman, period. Mm-hmm. Period. I don't care how you're looking at it. Look at them when they get 40. Look at us when we 40. Okay? I'm just saying, you have to stop being, I guess, swallowing the Kool-Aid. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid to help. They're convinced you that everything about you is negative. But what did Malcolm say? He said only a fool would allow their enemies to educate their children. You're allowing them to educate the next generation. And look at the school system. Look at our children where we are. It's a mess. And all of this is, I always bring this to my granddaughter because I need for her to understand that when I say not to bring them home, I mean just that. Those are not friends. It's almost like you're bringing a snake home. Now, you know some snakes are poisonous, right? But I don't know which ones are. So therefore, I'm not going to bring any of them home because I don't want to get bit by the wrong snake. I rest my mic.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Sister Cassie. Brother Isaiah?
Wow. There's a lot that there's a lot that need to be said. If I can just go off on a tangent and come back, let me do that. Power concedes nothing without demand. If you don't have money, baby, you don't have no power. The world will look upon you with some smidgen of respect. But you know, when you walk down the street and you see a bum on sleeping on the side, you look at it like, well, damn. You know what I mean? Step over them, you might give them a dime or two, but there's no respect. Power concedes nothing without respect. And us as a people have been ushered off the stage, the geopolitical and economic stage. There was a time, not long ago, that when the black fucking man spoke, everybody shut the fuck up and started listening. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Go ahead.
We had control of trade, the Silk Road to China and every other part. Control. We rule Europe for 800 fucking years. Then totally, all of a sudden, we just, we're just small big people and players. Something happened. Well, that something happened is very easy to understand. Disunity, division. And if I gotta say it 1,000,001 times, I'm not losing anything. But through unity, there is prosperity. There is peace. There is love. There is understanding. There is wisdom. There is knowledge because we are tapping into our ancient way of life, our ancestors. All we got to do is just take that plug. Where's it at? Take that plug and plug it into the wall of their knowledge base, the Akashic record. And if we do that, and it's all that information is available, it's out there already. It's written about. You talked about that, Brother Muhammad. Sister Cassie talked about that many times on the show. I talked about it. The doctor. Don't make this hard. Gaddafi said it. If you kill me, you'll be opening the door to all of hell for all of eternity. And that he predicted Africa, the continent, and Africa diaspora, because Africa begins at the four corners of the world. That Africa and her children will rule again and forever. And I'm not talking about 100 years from now. I'm not talking about 50 years now or 25. I'm talking about less than 10. Ghana just discovered $12 trillion worth of gold. The continent of Africa is we are the most blessed people on the planet, intellectually, because the promised land is right here. This is where we got to be. When you can control this, that 3-pound mass of gelatin we call a brain and enrich it with the 3 precious gems of Solomon, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You can turn a desert into a fucking paradise because you know how. And when you know how to do something, everything else becomes elemental. Faith consists of 2 things: knowing and believing. At one point, I didn't know how to tie my shoe, but I believed it because somebody buried the seed of belief in me and gave me the tool to learn how to tie my shoe, ride my bike, or whatever. But you got to have one of the 2. Faith consists of believing and knowing. Somebody taught me how to tie my shoe, taught me how to ride a bike, and taught me math and all of that. So when you have both of those criteria within you as a man, as a woman, as a community, as a nation, as a world, there is nothing that you cannot do. The white man ain't shit. How many times I gotta say it? They wish they were you, black man. Don't you see that? They wish. They want it, but they can't have it. We are the ones, the gods upon the earth, the gods of medicine, the gods of math, the gods of agriculture, astronomy, astrology, physics, calculus, you name it, we did it. That's because the Greeks, when they came later, the pale-skinned Greeks, were calling you gods. That's why they went to Egypt. They didn't go to fucking Spain or Poland. They went to you, black man, in order to understand why it is, what it is, how it is, because we knew we had the answer. We went to space. There's a group of people who understand that there's a moon that goes around Sirius. They didn't have to see it with their eye, they knew. And that wasn't proven until the 40s that there was a moon going around Sirius. But they already knew that shit. So the white man is late. Late like a motherfucker. Do you understand what I'm telling you? You are the most powerful people, the most blessed people. But if you can't see it, nothing else matters. Nothing else can be manifested from your brain, through your mouth, and in your action. That is the road to manifestation. Actions speak louder than words. The book's secret. That's your shit. That's our shit. Hey, white folks that made millions of dollars stealing our shit. And you sitting up here trying to figure out, well, I want to, nigga, you are the secret. Yeah, wake up. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Wake up and know who you are. You are a God upon the earth. That everybody wants to be you. Know your worth. Know who you are. Know the past so you can understand it, the present, and predict the future, because humanity is predictable. We go around in a motherfucking circle. What is, what was, shall be. It's predictable. I throw it back at you.
All right, excellent, excellent. Thank you both. Now I'm gonna ask a question because I know it comes up into our people's minds when they hear us say the things that y'all have said today. If that be true, if everything that y'all just said be true, then how in the hell did we get in the position where we are now, where people of our black people are looking at them as they are the God and they treat us like we ain't shit? So, you know, if we're God's people and we got these things, then how is it that we're so much on the low end of it? And not just, there is universal agreement amongst white folks, amongst some Asians, universal agreement that black people ain't shit. That black people don't deserve nothing, will never be nothing. There's universal agreement upon that, and they act on that. Now, if we are the children of God, as we've all have said, and we are the best, we are the real humans on the planet, answer the question of how did we get this way? How did it happen that we were on top and now all of a sudden we're on the bottom? Sister Cassie. Oh, hold on one second, Sister Cassie. I want to welcome in Earth Angel Remix. Welcome to the program, Queen. Peace and blessings. Gregory Calloway, welcome to the program. Peace and blessings. And Brother Emil, welcome to the program. Peace and blessings. Go ahead, Sister Cassie.
We gave up. We gave it up. We gave up the authority. We gave up the wisdom. We gave up the knowledge. We gave up everything that God gave us. He told us, He mandated us to stick together. He mandated us not to mix and mingle, not to go and bring them in. He didn't tell you to have anything to do with them. But every time we want to go against what He told us to do, we bring stuff on ourselves for being hard-headed. Black folk we hard-headed regardless. You can't tell black folk nothing. If it don't come out of white folk now, how do we get that way? Because we allow them to educate you. I'm telling you, that right there, when you allow your enemies to educate you, you jacked up right then and there. Because then they did what? They got this. If you get this right here, you got everything. Because you're going to teach your people how to think. You're going to teach your people who they are, who they not. You're going to teach them how great you are and how nothing you are. So it's not that we're nothing. They're nothings, but they want to tell you you're nothing. And then they're going to keep telling you this. They've been telling us this since the beginning of time, right? And we believe it now. Then you put your entertainment out there and you got the most ratchet entertainers and you pay them money to keep on being ratchet. And we allow it. White folk don't allow that ratchetness. White folk don't allow you to come against their own. White folk don't allow you to come against them at all. Because if you do, you're going to jail or you're going to die. Remember Cal Rittenhouse? What happened? Those 3 boys got off cold, didn't they? What happened? 2 of them died. And the third, he shot 3, but 2 died. And did he get any time? Hell to the no. Why? Because they were off cold. When you get off cold, we should handle black folk, and we don't. We just let black folk do anything and say anything, and we just don't even say nothing. And then now you got white folk coming up slapping the hell out you, and you forgiving them. Oh, this is what's going on. You look stupid. That's something that we brought this on ourselves. Because how does the teacher become the student? Answer me that. We taught them how to bathe. We built this country. So we can't go to Africa and build up Africa? Africa act like they got a partner with everybody. They need you to survive. You got all that minerals. And you a third world country. How the hell does that happen? That's the thinking. That's the thinking because we did what? Allowed them to come in our country and educate our babies. Are we out of our minds? So do we understand where that comes from? So now they got you thinking you nothing. They got you looking down on your women and going after them piece of nothings. Them nasty, disgusting, oh God, I just don't even, you know what? I'm so frustrated right now because I'm looking at the entertainment. It sucks. I'm listening to the music. And we don't even understand. Sometimes you got to push that stuff back to them. They'll give you the worst everything. They already got you looking bad on their medical, on their media, right? And then you tell me, okay, their doctors doing this, the other, but we won't build. What's the matter with us? Everything they tell you that you are, you won't fight against it. Mm-hmm. You won't come against it. You won't say anything. You go right along with it. Why? Mm-hmm. Why? Because you can. And you believe everything that they tell you. Mm-hmm. No. I'll pass my mic.
Mm. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Sister Cassie. Brother Isaiah?
Once again, history says it all. In 19 I'm not for sure. Don't take me on it for word for it. But between 1902, somewhere between 1902 and 1910, black students in black schools scored on their admission test or whatever kind of test it was better than white students. I ain't talking about 1 or 2. I'm talking about 30, 40 points higher. Okay? So it's not like we don't know what the hell we're doing or how to do it or what to do. But like my sister Cassie said, we cannot afford to allow white folks, as if they're going to really teach them the truth about who they are. And if you remember, Brother Muhammad, I sent you a video of a principal. I think she was leaving the school or retiring or some kind of mess. And there were 4 black boys and girls in the line. All the rest were white. She didn't even stop to hug them. She hugged all the white kids. And the one that came up to her, she hugged them. So we can't assume anymore. And I take great pride in my 6-year-old boy, Aaron, and my 4-year-old boy, Jacob, because they have truly blossomed. Espérate, estoy haciendo algo, güey. They have truly blossomed into young men. I can see the change in their minds and their hearts and their soul. And I am taking more of their educational control than the school. Now, I'm not saying schools are great, but they can only reinforce what is enforced at home. I'm going to say that again. They can only reinforce what is enforced at home. If the parent don't know shit, the apple don't fall too far from the tree, then the kids ain't gonna know shit. They are depending on a school and people and principals and teachers in gym class to hopefully give them some kind of a base. Now, my son, 6-year-old son, he's in the 1st grade. He just graduated. Do you know he's doing 2nd and 3rd grade math? Because he has the basics. They didn't teach that shit in kindergarten and going into 1st grade. They're not even covering that in the 1st grade. You need to keep going here. You understand what I'm saying? The control must start at home. And then you make sure that is replicated in the school. You don't hope that the school can replicate what's in the house. The school can only reinforce what is enforced at home. That means also learning the 3 rings of power: politics, economics, and religion. My kids' attention span isn't that long, but I make them sit down and look at the news for about 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then they're all playing PlayStation after they do their work. But they're kids, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the idea and the onus is on me and my wife, not the school, not the community, not the city, not the state. So ultimately, we must take control. Ultimately, we cannot allow white folks, as we know them to be today, to kill the natural ability of our kids, because they are starving for who and what they are. And if we cannot give them and feed them the right information that allow them to grow spiritually, mentally, emotionally, then we are at fault. You can't blame white folks for that. My kid go to school and tell them about who they are. I'm talking about white folks who might be teachers, and one that is the dean of the school. And some white kids, they got some, not many. But he and they put them in their place. Do you understand what I'm telling you? If they get out of it, they just don't start some shit just to get started. They might. Like I know my youngest one, he was 3 years old. He hit some little boy in the eye. I said, well, glad he didn't hit you in the eye. They're natural fighters, you know what I mean? But I cannot, and I would not, and we will not stand idly by and allow some imaginary person other than, I don't give a damn if they black and or white, and especially if they black and they don't know what much you do. And especially if they're white, we know they're not going to do what they need to do to teach our kids that King James was a black guy and he brought white slaves over. They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that America doesn't consist of 50 states. They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that Hawaii is a black kingdom or what and still is a black kingdom. It's not the 50th state of the Union. And a lot of other things like George Washington was a black guy. He wasn't white. So they're not going to tell you all of that. They're going to tell you the lies and the deceit that they were told. But I can tell you right now, the sins of the father and mother are visited upon their children. White folk got it coming back in faith, and they getting it. Not that they're going to get it. They getting it now, and it's getting worse. White folks are converting to Islam. The sword of Islam is falling on the neck of their motherfucking lies. Period. They worried. Their minds would never know another goddamn day of rest, and their hearts will be fleeting. I will be back.
All right. Thank you, Brother Isaiah. You know, I want to, before I go to the first video, I want to deal with something that Earth Angel Remix talked about in her comment. She says, evil spirits does exist. We also have our own out here. We enforce nothing. We as a people, man, woman, and child, has to stop accepting behaviors from our own as well as others. And dealing with what she's saying with enforcement, I am 100% in agreement where she's coming from. I think that is exactly what we must begin to do. What does that look like to you all? What does enforcement look like to you all, Sister Cassie?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, I totally agree, because we've allowed way too much conversation, negative conversation about our own. We've allowed negative music. We've allowed people to just come and say anything in our community. But I'm gonna tell you what, if Cassie was president, it would be stopped. I will put a stop to all that. You come over here and you're allowing white folk to use you against your own, and you go against the community, you're done. Not just you, but your whole family. And we have to get to the point where we are doing stuff like this. We have to check our own first. We're trying to check other people, but our own is out of order. They're allowing white supremacy to use them all the time, giving them money. And we can name a few. And we know a few. But I keep telling black folks, stop looking at black folks, the faces. Understand and look at who's friends, who's around them. You got a lot of white folk around you. Trust and believe me. You safe, and they're not feeling threatened by you. I don't have no white friends because they already know how I feel about them. I'm sick of all their asses, and I can't stand none of them. And I don't feel bad how I feel. I don't trust them. I will never trust them. I told my granddaughter, don't bring one home. You can't marry them. I don't want them in my family. I don't even, if we got to the point where we separated, I don't even want one as a maid. I don't want her ass nowhere near me. When I go to visit other countries, I go to black countries because I don't want to go to a European country. I'm sick of looking at they're toxic, and we have to understand that these people are not safe. These people will stab you in the back and then put the knife in your hand and look at you like it's your fault, or blame you because they stabbed you. Get away from me with all that. I don't have time for nonsense. I don't deal with nonsense. I don't have time for it. I don't even want nonsense around me because I know these people are toxic. Everything about them is toxic, and we have to understand that. So why is it that we allow them to pay us to go against our own? Because this is what we're dealing with. These people are so slick. These are Satan's children. If you understand whose children they are, then you would understand they come to kill, steal, and destroy. Whose attributes are those, family? I don't know but one person whose attributes those are. And those are his children. So we can understand the fruits that we see from them, then that'll help us understand what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a whole lot of dysfunction when it comes to them. And it's our fault because we continue allowing them to be around us as often as we can. We got best friends as Becky's. I don't have no best friend named Becky. And when I hear a black person say her best friend is Becky, then get the hell away from me because you're not safe. Because she'll kill me to defend Becky. I don't need her as a friend. And if you got white folk and you put white folk on top of everybody else that you know, then I can't trust you. If you're married to a white person, I can't trust you. Even if you're talking black. You're not black first, because if you was, you would be laying next to your enemy every night. So you can talk that noise all you want. You're not trustworthy. You're not loyal to anybody, not even yourself. You're loyal to demons and devils, period. So I agree with her. There are demons and devils on this earth walking, and we look at them every day, and those don't snow people. And we work with them. We married to them now, and we call them friends. I keep telling you, God called them serpent people for a reason, but we call them friends. How is that possible? I don't understand how we do that. We see it every day. They show you every day. They show you how disgusting they are. They show you how nothing they are. They show you how dangerous they are. And their history showed it when they burned your ancestors alive, cut off their private parts, and had them as souvenirs. Watch your ancestors burn alive. And now you want to still call them friends? Are you out of your mind? Let's make it make sense. How is it you're trusting people that has done so even today? Every chance they get. The mayor, remember we just saw where the man, he was the mayor. Now you got a black mayor. So he brought the sheriff in to search for a gun on the black mayor. Right then and there. If they didn't find nothing, which they didn't, I'd already have his ass dealt with. I would have dealt with him right then and there. I would have showed him what I'm working with. Oh, you want to play that game? Let's play it, because I'm made for it. I'm made for it. I tell you, he'd be, I'm telling you, I'm sick of this woman. Because guess what? I don't play. I'm not playing with you. You want to play dirty? Let's play dirty. We don't do that no more. We sit up there and forgive. She gonna try to chastise a grown toxic man. That man is toxic. And she was feeling sorry for him. No, you're supposed to deal with that mayor. He wanted your job and was mad because you took his job. Now he gonna wreak havoc on you. Okay, well, where's you wreaking havoc back on him? Where's us dealing with these police officers who's murdering our baby? Come on, you guys. We have to deal with this stuff. We got leaders that's trying to tell us it's okay. You got immigrants in Chicago. They had a whole job fair. And your mayor, why is that mayor not dealt with? Why is black folk not recalling him or showing up at his house? You're going to sit up there and give all this money to immigrants? And you don't give nothing to black people and had a whole job fair where you got black men that's unemployed in Chicago. But you're going to have a whole... come on, you guys. Come on. You had a job fair for immigrants. So why didn't we show up at his house? Why is he allowed to do what he's doing freely, giving millions of dollars to immigrants and nothing to black people? And we're allowing that? That's the problem right there. We need to deal with coons like that. And we're not. So this is not a white issue. This is a black folk issue right now, because we need to check in-house first. We need to separate the ones that's not going to do what they're supposed to do, and we can move forward. Then we can deal with the outsiders. But right now, we got so much dirt in the house right now, we can't trust nobody. We can't trust your pork chop pastors, because I just seen a sign with a black man, a pastor who's married to a white woman. You got a whole white woman on top of your black congregation, your women? Are you out? See, that's not even, come on. You're not even in the word. What we doing here? What we doing? I don't understand that. And you got black women probably sitting up under him. Why do we allow that? That's our fault. We keep allowing nonsense. Jungle justice. Just saying. I rest my mic.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Sister Cassie. That is right on point. Right on point. I agree with everything that you're saying. We definitely have to enforce. Brother Isaiah, what say you?
I'm going to ride off what our sister Cassie said, just to add a little bit more flavor to it. Music, how it go? Music soothes the savage beast, something like that. Is that right?
Music soothes the savage soul.
So okay,
Mhm.
yeah, are you sure about? No, it's not. Well, okay, let's go with that one. That's dealing with blackness. But if you go back 50, 60, to 70, to 80s, and then all of a sudden you're dealing with hip hop and you got uh, uh, that all of the hip hop in the beginning it had to do with blackness and all of that. And there's a slow degradation of music. It is said, and I know it is true, that the frequency that soothes the mind and the soul when you're listening to it, it's like 432 megahertz. And the music industry knew about that, and they changed it. I think they changed it to like 500 and something. But before then, when you listen to what that soul sister music, uh, I you know what I'm talking. I see her phrase. She came out in late '80s, early '90s. And Anna, something I don't know. But anyway, the music of black folks have always been around that 430 too. And when you look at the demonic nature of white folks and the way in which they have this satanic order that is going on, and for two examples, Sexy Red and Suki Hana, they signed multi-million-dollar deals with their record company, but they had to do some dirty shit. From what I heard, Suki Hana had to swallow his white guy's nut cream, and the other girl, Sexy Red, had to bend over and get her ass fucked in the ass. So these are the kind of things that's going on in the music industry, especially Puffy doing what he did, and all of these people, he got fucked in the ass. And he and all of these other people who are signing up and thinking they're getting them record deals, they got to sign their soul over. There's no devil. The only devil is the white man just got into the seven deadly sins: greed, gluttony, sloth, envy, pride, wrath, and lust, and holding that up in order to bring in people who have abilities. But for whatever reason, for whatever weak mentality, they fall into this genre of satanic Satanism. Yeah, Satanism. And the fact that they're producing music that don't mean anything. I mean, in the '90s when rap got hard and people got away from MC Hammer, and then you started just a slow degradation. Then you start talking about white women being sluts and whores and all of this. So you can see the slow degradation not only of our music, but that have impacted the way in which we think, the way in which we speak to our women, and our women speak to men, and our whole community changed. Now, can we change that? Yeah, of course. Anita Baker is what I was trying to say. Smooth, ooh, smooth. You'd be like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. And
Mhm.
and all of the other great singers, men and women, who sing and just soothe your whole hard day of work. And when you get home and you put on that record and you just chilling, you know what I'm talking about, Cassie. You know what I'm talking about, right? Because once we get that music going, because there's always a song that you can put on that'll make the ambience of the house or of your relationship with your woman or relationship with your man just that much better because it brings down the tempo from from wildness to calmness. And one of my favorite singers was Anita Baker. You know, every song on that first album was a bomb. They like put it on, or Kem, put that on. Yeah, you off and running. You know what I mean? But now words are powerful. Letters form words, words form spells. And we're under a hell of a spell with all of this nonsense mumble rap that don't mean anything. It ain't like Tupac, California, what's the one about his mother or something like? You could feel that in your heart and soul. You know what I mean? Or one of my favorite rappers back in the day, Apache. He died early, you know. But still, he was man. I hate to say it, but gangster bitch was a motherfucker. I need a gangster bitch. Yeah, you know what I mean. But I was younger then. You know, hey, that was what was going on. But ultimately, we have to take control of our music because we created every genre of music: rap, um, jazz, pop, blues, that twang music, and classical music. Mozart was a black guy. Beethoven was a black guy, and all the other ones were black people. I rest my case and turn it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Brother Isaiah. I want to welcome MDP to the program. Peace and blessings, MDP. We're glad that you're with us. I wanted to go to the video, but Brother Gregory Calloway made a comment that I can't let go, that we need to deal with. And I want us to explore this. He says, we must understand what cut off from being a nation really means. And let's break it down. And again, he's giving reference in the Bible where it says, come, let us cut them off from being a nation so that the name of Israel will be no more in remembrance. That's where he's getting it from. And I think that is right on point. And we need to go ahead and chop that up. Sister Cassie, what does that mean to you?
They want us to not exist. So my thing is, you introduced them to sin. Remember in the Bible when one of the people came to one of the kings and he wanted to introduce sin. He wanted us to put a curse on Israel, right? And he said, I can't do it because what God called blessed is blessed. He said, but what you can do is introduce them to sin and they'll bring a curse on themselves. That's what's happening now. They're introducing us to sin, to this LGBT, okay? All this crazy, disgusting music, and we don't hold them accountable. So we're bringing stuff on ourselves because it's not about them. It's about us, okay? Black man and woman, because he's holding us accountable because we know what to do. But until we get to that point, this is what you're seeing going on right now. This is why they call you all kind of bywords, right? Let's talk about it, Gregory. Calling you all kind of bywords because it's meant to. Because until you get yourself lined up and do what you're called to do, and every time you look around, we get further and further away from him. All of this music. You got what Sexy Red now is paid all this money to all this disgusting music she has. We have to hold those accountable, our music entertainers accountable. Just like all kind of stuff is coming out their mouth. This is at another level. We have to understand they use our own against us. So now they want you to continuously bring in sin on yourself, bring in curses on yourself. That's what it means. They want us to disappear, but they can't because we ain't going nowhere. Because every time you try, it comes back to you. They put drugs in our neighborhood, right? What happened? Now you got opiates in theirs. You got these folk acting crazy, looking crazy, standing up, sleep. I'm just saying. So you put abortion clinics in our neighborhood, right? What happened? Now your women aren't even reproducing. So everything you try to do to us comes back to you. So you can't hurt us, but they've not learned that yet. But the only way that they can hurt us is by introducing us to the LGBT, and we take it on. Introducing us to this disgusting music and making us hyper oversexed, okay? Introducing us, our men, to crime, taking your jobs away. Then what you gonna do? You're gonna do something to take care of your families. And then you know what I'm saying? So that's what he means that's what that scripture means to me. Now, if y'all got some other, understanding about it, please help me. But I rest my mic.
Thank you, Sister Cassie. Brother Isaiah?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're on point. We like two peas in a pod, baby. I can pretty much finish what you're going to say, and I can pretty much finish. You can pretty much finish what I'm going to say. But let me say this: Earth Angel says this is true. If they can destroy our integrity, morals, and dignity, it's over. They have done that, but not entirely. We've got lost in the sauce with all of this. I want to be bad bitches and hoes and wet ass pussy and all of that. And we fell into that. You know what I mean? It's like, well, that's where the money's at. That's where I'm going. You don't have to be like that. Not really. Good music is good music, and people will buy it. Anita Baker, I'm trying to read all of these soulful. The one Barry, not, I almost say Barry Manilow, but that's not it. Barry, you know what I'm talking about. Barry, with the deep voice, huh?
Barry White.
Barry White, yeah. Ooh, man, I can put that on. Ooh, I don't want to say it, but I got a lot of pussy. R. Kelly, half of the baby, a lot of pussy. We know how to sing. We know what makes people move. Mountains move when the black man and woman speak. What else can I say? You know what I mean? We are the motherfucking shit. And white folks ain't shit. I rest my case.
All right, thank you, Brother Isaiah.
Let me say one more thing, and I'm gonna try to break this thing down. What it says is, it means like to eliminate the memory of a person. That's what they want to do, but they can't. That's what they're trying to do, though. They want to eliminate your name. Okay. So that's, go ahead, but and kind of wipe you out of existence, but they can't do it. They've been trying for since forever. But every time it comes back.
Let me say this. Let me say this, Sister Cass. They ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna never do it.
No.
When the light goes out, when the sun goes down, what happens? Ain't nothing but black men. I rest my motherfucking case.
All right, excellent.
I love it.
Excellent. So now I'm going to transition. We're going to go to the first video. This first video is a brother 15 years old. Before I say that, do y'all agree that the criminal justice system is a major factor that impacts the quality of life for Black people? Do y'all agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Right. Brother Isaiah, you agree as well?
How was it?
That the American justice system impacts the Black family. It has a large impact on our families.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this first video that we're going to look at is a 15-year-old child in the interrogation room with his mama and his daddy. He's being accused of killing a cop. And they have what we would call circumstantial evidence. They don't have the evidence of him on video shooting a cop or nothing like that. They have him walking by. They see him walking by in that area, but they don't see him killing. They don't have no gun. They don't have no DNA. They don't have none of this.
So you can actually just say you're going to blame somebody for something, but don't have no evidence.
Exactly.
See, this is what they always use their system against us. Every time. It don't even, just like, oh God, every time we try to free us, they use their system against us, but we allow it. So what is it that we need to do to shut that system down? That's my question, because that's all they know how to do. They'll blame us for everything, and then we'll go along with it. No, you better show some evidence, because you don't need no evidence. You allow their asses to get away with everything and anything. You shot the woman through the door, didn't go to jail, but you want to put my son? Oh, we're gonna fight this one. Oh, I'm coming. No.
Bonds for the win. Bonds for the win. Bonds for the win. You can sue the state, federal, and local governments to get that bond. Fight, fight,
Fight.
fight. You just don't give in and give up and give out. We come too far for all that bullshit. We come too far. We owe that to our ancestors to fight.
Yeah. But
and they ain't hard to beat. They beating themselves.
Right.
They're the one committing treason and robberies and killing. Over the last goddamn 3 years, they killed 150 fucking million people with the fucking vaccine. These motherfuckers
don't say that, brother.
Don't say that word. We
don't
don't
say
mean
that.
No, we don't
say that.
No, we don't mean that. We don't mean that.
Yeah.
Don't even mention that word.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
Don't mention it.
Yeah, don't go there.
Because they just dying to do something. So just don't even mention that word.
Exactly.
All right. Well, my bad.
Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at this video. And it's 30 minutes. But I want us to look at it, understand what we're watching, and come back and discuss it. But it's a good video.
About to be interrogated by the police because they believe he shot and killed a police officer in St. Petersburg, Florida. On February 21st, 2011, Officer David Crawford responded to a 911 call about a suspicious person walking around in the middle of the night. When the officer arrived, he would be shot and killed at close range by the suspicious person. Upon receiving tips from the community, the police raided Nicholas's home and brought him in for interrogation. Because he was under the age of 18, Nicholas was allowed to have his parents in the interrogation room with him.
Who did it? Nicholas, listen to me. Listen to me.
Son, don't do that, son. Right now, this is very serious.
Okay, son.
It's okay, son.
It's okay, son. I know, baby. It's okay.
So it's gonna be okay, son.
All right,
it's gonna be okay, son. I don't want you to go.
This is what I'm doing. I've been talking to you all day, right?
Yeah.
Okay, baby. It's okay. Just tell us what happened.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. This is me. This is me. It's like we heard. Every man family is heard. Tell us.
I don't know.
What happened?
I don't know.
Tell us what
I was
happened.
not there. I'm telling you, I was not there.
Those are your shoes. Okay. No, those are your shoes.
Oh my God.
Listen,
you got to tell the truth, son.
they're right here.
I was not
Those are your
there.
shoes, Nicholas. Those are your shoes. Stop.
If you didn't do
Stop.
it, you was with somebody that did I it, did son. not do it. I was not there.
Yes, you was.
I
Yes, you
would
was.
have got.
Yes, you was. Yes, you was.
Oh, Mom. Nicholas, don't do that. See, when you do that, you want to get like this. This how you want to do it?
I love you,
Man,
son.
I'm telling y'all, I'm
Listen,
not
what do you
doing
say?
it. I don't know how your shoes get that, son. How do your shoes get that?
Listen to me. These
Please
people got
tell us,
evidence.
son. They
Listen
got
to me.
evidence, son.
You got evidence.
We can't save it, son. If you want to come home, you want to come home. Do you want to come home? Yes.
Tell me all you need to know. Was it an
I
accident?
told them, man, I was not there.
Yes, you was.
Honestly, I was not there.
Nicholas.
So they're gonna do the police officer's job.
Okay.
Okay. I love you.
I love you with all my heart.
Yeah,
man, y'all ain't even trying to help me, man. I was not there. I was not there, man. I'm telling you, I was not there.
Your shoes. They got your evidence. They got your clothes.
Your shoes.
They got your clothes. They got a video.
They got a video, son. You need to talk to these people, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I was not there,
Okay.
man. Y'all don't even care, man. I just tell y'all don't care.
No, we don't care.
Dog.
We care about being
I
here.
don't care about nothing.
We care about being
here. Y'all don't care about nothing, man. For real, though.
How we don't care?
I was not there. Tell you I was not there, man. For real, man. Yeah, man.
How your shoes get there?
Man, come on, man. I was not there.
How did your shoes get there?
I've been letting them shoes go, Daddy.
But what about the video? There's a video. There's a video.
There is a video,
There was a
son.
camera that caught the picture
And what? You
of you.
walking down the sidewalk and in the grass, cutting through somebody's grass.
There's a video.
But no video of him shooting nobody.
Come on, line, son. You
Oh,
got
God,
to.
I can't take this.
Got to tell us the
It
truth,
does not
son.
matter. It does not matter. We hear all the way. Okay, but the video.
Son, we can't save you. We can't. They got evidence to keep you. Son.
They got DNA. They got DNA.
Well, who is it?
I gave them shoes away. Okay, but that's not the point. On the video. On the video. We're not coming in here with some.
So what they finna take me to jail?
Yep, they're gonna charge you. But that's why we're giving you
What?
the
Murder.
homicide of a police officer.
Fuck, man! And you were not
Real, no, I was not done. Well, I'm done. Damn, I was not done. Baby, I'm done. Oh my God. We're trying to help you.
Nicholas's parents don't believe their son was a shooter, but they do believe that he knows who the shooter was. What they don't know is that he has been trying to become a member of a local gang that has a reputation for being extremely violent. On top of that, they have other evidence, including video footage of him in the area around the time the shooting took
I don't
place.
give a damn. You ain't got no video.
Coming down on it. I'm not going to change nothing about how I feel. You're going to always be my
We
son.
love you. I'm here with you.
I'm here to help you go through this.
Right, we're not going to all the way, son. We're not turning our back on you.
I have a
But we need
loyal
to
son for
know.
myself, but if you did not pull that trigger, you need to tell
Tell us
us
who
and
did
let
it.
the
But
officer
we know you
who
were
did
there.
it.
We know
But
you
we
were
know
there.
you was there.
And
Oh my God, I can't take this.
they haven't left our house.
Until they
They got-
find the person who did it, you is the one
Yes,
is
we'll take
in
it back.
hell gonna be the one that shot this officer. You going to prison and you ain't getting out if the jury don't
Damn,
survive.
like that. Who need enemies?
What's
They're
them
trying
trying
to
to
kill you.
So
And they'll
what
never-
we need to know right now, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it, excuse me, sir.
Did you?
No, tell us what happened.
That's what
Tell
we
us
need to know.
what happened, and you got to tell them what happened.
Oh my God, I
I'm
can't
not
take
gonna
this.
let them back, son.
Be behind you all the way,
If
son.
we didn't ask for anything out of you in
You
your
just
whole
want you to tell
life,
us the truth.
this is what we
This is the
need for
most
you
serious
right
thing.
now.
Tell
To
us
be
the truth.
honest
Tell us what
about
happened
what
from the
happened.
time you left that house.
Please, son.
Oh my God, they gonna let the boy.
Please,
Ooh,
son.
these people
And
stupid.
whatever your charges are, son, we're gonna be there. We're not
We
turning
here.
our
You're
back
not.
on you.
You're not taking this by yourself.
We're all
We here
going through
with you
this.
with this.
All your aunties away. Everybody got you.
Son, we need to know. You need to tell me.
How we get so dumb? Please, Maurice, how we get so dumb? How we get so dumb? This is about the dumbest thing ever. They gonna sit up there and solve the damn case for the police. You big dummies, and they gonna let them too. Oh my God, y'all done sent y'all child to jail. Who need enemies with parents like this? Damn fools.
So, come on now.
Oh my God, who going to jail?
Stop that.
Whether he did it or not.
Okay, don't act like that now. Tell us what happened. Just tell us what happened from the beginning.
At the young age of 15 years old, Nicholas wanted to be a hardened criminal. He wanted to become a gang member and all that comes with it. But now he is forced to face reality, and as you can see, reality is breaking him.
Tell us what happened from the time you
He didn't break nobody. He didn't kill nobody. What was he doing?
This is what we need to know. We're trying to get
Gotta prove your own case.
And we don't want you to take this by yourself.
Right.
We know you didn't. I hope you didn't do
We
this.
just want to know what
If you
happened.
did, shit happened. You make
You got
mistakes.
scared.
You got scared. You
Whatever.
panicked. But you got to be honest with us.
Right
Son.
now, this is the
You
time.
got to.
Tell us, baby.
You got to,
Stop
son.
crying. I know it
Please.
hurt, but tell us. We right here.
Something is wrong somewhere. Parents usually know if your child did something.
Your lawyer. Let's do this. I got Dominique. Your brother. Get your brother. Come on,
Son,
man.
please talk to
Just
us.
come on, tell us, now.
Please talk to us.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm not going.
You're not gonna what?
I'm not be able to be all
Yes, you are.
home. I want to
Oh,
go
my
home.
Okay.
Tell us
Well,
what
tell us what's
happened.
going on so we can do this. We might, if you tell us what happened, we can work from there.
They believe in a police officer over their own son.
We need to know what happened so we can follow the necessary steps.
Oh
That's
God, I
why
can't
I
take
asked you
this.
all day today to tell you the truth. I could have prevented this. I could have made arrangements for this. Do you understand us? We gonna help you.
You need to be honest.
Just tell us
Please
what
be honest
happened.
with us.
Tell us what happened. And we're gonna tell you once you tell us, we're gonna talk to them, and then me and Daddy going home and we're gonna make arrangements.
How you going home, dummy? You going to jail?
Take you over.
And you didn't
Talk to these
figure out
people,
what's
man.
tell
going
them
on.
someone that
What's
you
going
Just
in jail
tell us what
because you got
happened,
parents
man.
like that.
Please,
We're
son.
gonna do everything we can.
Still not, man.
Okay, but listen to
Okay,
me.
son.
We're
it's
working
okay.
on this.
Right
Let
now,
us work on. Don't worry about that. Let us work on this.
let us work on this. We need to know
We
what
need to
we're
know what
working
happened so
with.
we can
need to
work
know.
with.
You need to tell
Oh
us. son.
God, I can't take this.
That's why
Two
we
babies
got
going
you.
to jail.
Look, we got
Parents
you.
like
I'm gonna
this.
see
It's
you
not
every
turning
day.
our back
I'm gonna
on
see
you.
you every day.
I'm here for
Damn,
I'm
you.
gonna see you every day.
We here for you. This is
But
what
we're
we
gonna
here
work on
for.
this. Just tell
Oh
us.
God, we We got some slaves up in here.
And I'll go home and get on the phone right now.
Please tell us.
Oh, God.
Just tell us what happened and tell us the honest God truth. Ain't no else. You know the truth that you what we need to do. I give up everything I got. And I know your daddy feel the same way.
You ain't got nothing but a duck.
No,
We don't know what you're going to just tell us what
You
happened.
need to tell us what happened.
Tell me
son.
who, what, where, and why.
Please.
Just tell us, man.
You need to be honest.
Tell us that and let us worry about it.
They must not know they on camera.
Hey, get out your mind and snitching and all that.
They must not know their exes on camera. This is the most.
Nicholas
This-
claims
this
that someone
thing
by
I
the name of James was the shooter. This little piece of information shows the police that he was somehow involved in the shooting,
Oh my God.
even if he wasn't the shooter.
You saving your ass right now.
Okay, tell me what happened. Tell us what happened.
Please tell
And
us.
don't lie, because these people know if you lie or not. Like I said, they got your clothes,
You don't
they
need to
got your
lie no
DNA.
more.
Don't lie
My
to
God. What DNA? From what? What the hell you got DNA from?
yourself.
Did you have a gun?
If you was with somebody, you was with somebody. But you gonna tell me
God, help
what
me.
happened. I need to know
They
what.
do not have enough information right now to
No,
convict
it's
Your
them.
life ain't over.
It's not.
Exactly. They didn't give it to him.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
didn't gave it to him. What a kid. You are the biggest dummies. I would have said nothing. You ain't said nothing.
What happened? That's fine. Let us worry
Don't
about
give me
it.
an attorney. I'm not doing all of this.
Now, what happened so we can
Right.
get
And
just
they
to
made
don't
their
know
son
what
guilty.
it is. You need to tell us
We
the
need
truth.
to know what's
We
going
need
on.
the truth. They
Oh
know
my
what the
God,
truth
I
is
can't
already,
take this.
and we need to know the truth. They ain't waiting on us.
I'm so glad I ain't got no parents
And
like
let us
this.
go home and get
Dummies.
started on this.
You believe everything white folk tell you. Dummy. That child ain't have, but he
Began
didn't
to
have
whisper
a.
into his parents about what
chance.
happened. In his story, he was picked up by James, and together they drove to where the shooting happened. When they arrived, Nicholas claimed that while he was looking at the police car through his mirror, James fired his gun at the officer, and then they both fled the scene.
So, okay, son, listen, right now, you're going to have to be a man and tell the officer the same thing you told us.
I'm just saying to him, let me what I'm saying to you is, don't make up nobody.
Don't make
give
up no
false.
names.
Don't give
Don't
no
false
false
names.
names.
Don't give them no, don't lie
If
to
you
them.
lie, let me tell you something.
If you lie, you
If
make
you
it
lie
worse
to
for
them,
yourself.
you lose out.
You lose out.
Ain't no helping you.
This is
God.
your
You got
one
to tell
and
the
only
truth.
time
So
to
back
get
to
this
again.
off your
My
back.
son, he gonna get life in prison for his
You know
dumb
the person's
parents.
real name, tell me the person's real name.
Ain't that something?
Ain't no
You
lie.
gonna do the damn case for them.
Can't help
Can't
you.
lie.
What's the person's name?
James.
Oh my God, I'm
You know
done.
what I'm saying?
I'm done.
But then they're gonna have to put some pictures in front of you and show you, and you're gonna have to
Oh
pick
my
it.
God.
You telling me James did the shooting?
Oh my God, I can't
Line
do
up.
this. Oh God.
False
But you was
name
there.
in.
But you can't.
Don't do this.
What I'm trying to
Your
say,
eyes.
listen
They didn't solve the case for the police officer.
So this is what we asking you. Now we know you was there. I really need to know the person's name.
Oh my God.
I need to know. It ain't no snitching. It ain't nothing. Because you
That's
two are in it
about
together.
getting this off
You
your
two-
back.
right.
If you want to come home sometime,
You ain't coming home with parents like that.
And I need to know the real name. I don't want to hear no. I don't know the last name. He's from Auburn. I want to know the name, the real name.
You got to, son.
I can't.
This is your time to be a man, okay?
Right. Tell
You
us the
got
fucking
to.
truth. Come on, yeah.
With a daddy like that, who
Just
he should have
run
been
away. Just
missing.
let you keep going and tell it. Just go
He
ahead.
should have been one of them daddy missing daddies.
I don't care about that other person.
He
We
didn't
care
know
about
that.
you right now.
We care about you. I'm here to help you. What's the
Until they
person's
get this
name?
other person, you is going
Right.
down.
Right. So
And
you
it's
got to
not
tell the
no
truth.
good road.
You got to tell
You
the truth.
need to tell the truth of what happened, son. And tell the
And tell
name.
the real name. So
What
we
is
want the real name.
Nicholas's parents tell him that they are going to get the detective so he can tell the story again. Morally, what his parents are doing is the right thing, making him take responsibility for his actions.
How the hell?
Legally, they are making a huge mistake by trying to get him to confess without talking to a lawyer first.
Exactly.
This brings up today's question for you, the viewer. If you were in the parents' shoes, what would you do?
Now you need to get up. And
Go
say
get my
that
son
you
an attorney
and you told
and
us.
tell him to deny, and let them prove their own case. That's what I would do.
You got better.
Damn. Much shooting that they've been doing our baby.
You
I
got
would
to
give a damn.
give the time. You got
I'm not putting my child in jail when they don't put theirs in jail.
You ain't doing
Exactly.
That boy who killed that girl got away. So many murders that get away. They walk all the time. The 12-year-old, 14-year-old had a shootout with police.
for this shit. Put you.
They didn't go to jail. You gonna convince your son?
By you telling us the truth, it's taking
Look at
that
this
off
fool.
of you.
Like they whispering.
Off of you.
Dummies don't know they on camera.
You won't get that what he gonna get.
Right.
Yours
Oh
will be
my God.
unneeded, but you got to be
Think they
honest
doing
with
something.
yourself.
Right.
Be good niggas now.
If you piss these folks off, they gonna start trying to play with you and give you the best lead they can. They just gonna hit you with all this shit, and you don't want this shit.
Right.
They gonna hit you with it anyway, dummy.
I would, but I can't take this way.
I got you.
So you ready to talk to these folks and tell them the truth so they can get this out of the way. Please, son. You're making it
But
hard
they
for
don't really
yourself.
care.
Oh my God.
Son, stop. You did this now. You did this. You's a better man. I respect that.
We with you, man. Stop. I
I don't want to
Them
do
them things trying to set you up for life.
Son, I'm so proud of you.
I am
You know that. I'm so proud of you, boy.
Boy,
I am so proud of you.
Oh my God. Now you proud of what?
I'm proud of you, okay?
I told you.
You
Okay.
will be coming home, but right now these people gotta finish the investigation, okay?
Okay.
You ain't coming home. What do you mean you coming home?
No, it ain't.
Your mama done gave you life.
Yeah, son.
You gonna come home when you dead in the grave.
No, it's not gonna be
No, it's
that.
not. No, it's not.
Nicholas decides he's ready to confess, so the detectives come
Oh my
back
God.
into the interrogation room.
Oh my God. They looking at them parents like y'all the dumbest ever.
Right there, right now.
We need some more of them like this up in here.
Owning up to your responsibility.
He just
In order to talk to you, I gotta read your rights, okay?
Again, Nicholas whispers his story to the detectives. The microphones could not pick up his confession, but essentially, Nicholas tells them the same story he told his parents.
So he drops you off.
So basically, you guys are just trying to get cars.
Yeah,
Steal cars or break into cars?
still.
Okay.
He drops you, right?
Oh God.
No. I don't know.
We're just gonna take a car and do whatever.
I don't have nothing to do with it.
But you were gonna steal it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go to that AAA lot. What car do you look at? What car is there?
It was a white neon.
White neon? All right.
No, it's not at the AAA lot. It's at the store at.
Yeah.
It's in that parking lot.
So it's in that parking lot on the across from the AAA lot.
Next to that hotel/store thing.
You know them white folk laughing at their asses.
Go in there.
Mhm.
You're gonna steal a car.
Thank you, Mama, for helping us solve our own case.
You got which one did you get into?
That white neon.
The white neon. That's when the police car goes by.
No. One of them parked.
Parked right by the store.
Yeah.
Okay. You got out of the car,
Yeah.
jumped over the wall, and where'd you go?
I crossed the street way over. And then the light was red, so as I'm coming, walking, I look back, I see him coming around the corner. So as I get to the AAA building, he tell me, he just get out the car, he tell me, stop. So I stopped. He like, take your hands out your jacket. I take my hands out my jacket, man. I take my hands out, I just hit shooting. And he fall. I took off running.
Well,
My slide.
Your slide came off? Okay.
They didn't have no gun, no nothing.
Where
No
was the man parked at?
He said he was going to park by the dome.
No. The officer.
Oh, he had parked like right outside of the building.
Okay. And when he told you to come here, were you starting to head toward the dome and you turned around and come back to him?
I was walking towards the door. He told me to stop.
Okay. And then he turned around and came back to him?
I just turned around.
Okay. How far away were you from that officer at that time? Approximately. If me and you are 6 feet apart as a gauge, how far away were you from that officer?
From here to the wall, from here to that wall in the other room, or what?
Ooh.
To when you walk in, when you
He
first
need
walk
to be grateful
That's
for
about
his
20
parents.
feet. Well, I'm not a scientist, but it's about 20, 22 feet.
and he walking toward me.
And he tells you to take your hands out of your jacket?
Yeah,
Okay. What kind of jacket you got on?
I had on a black jacket.
Did it have a hood on it?
No.
go ahead.
I had on a black jacket, bro.
You sure it was black? Oh,
Huh?
you sure it was black?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you gonna interrogate him with the police officer, really?
You know how like the gray one is that I was wearing? It's kind of like that.
When the officer asked you to take your hands out of your pocket, did you take your hands out of the pocket?
Yes.
Okay. And you were facing him?
Yes.
Okay. And you say you're about from here to that door.
Yeah, right there.
Not this door, the other door. Okay. And where did the shots come from?
I don't know. It's just I just heard it, and then when I heard him, I just took off running.
You went out of your slides?
Yeah. I came out of one of them, and one of them stayed on my feet.
What'd you do with the jacket you were wearing? What'd you do with that jacket you were wearing?
Burned it.
Burned it?
Mm-hmm.
Where at?
Over there, where I was telling you about.
Over by 8th Avenue and 14th Street?
Who burned it? You did? Who was there?
Nobody, just me.
All right, so you were in this white car. You said you couldn't jack the column though? You were in this white car, but you couldn't get the column popped?
Yeah, I couldn't get the ignition to come out.
Okay, that's how you start them, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just left it?
Yeah.
How did you get in the car?
I got through the door.
Did you pop it or just work it?
I popped it. Not the window, I had
Yeah.
did the lock.
Okay, you have a screwdriver?
Yeah.
Okay, did you leave the screwdriver there or did you take it with you?
I threw it out. I was running.
Okay. After the shots?
Yeah.
Okay. And who else is there besides Javaris?
Just us two.
The police found one of Nicholas's shoes at the crime scene. They also spoke with members of his family, and they told the police that Nicholas told them what he had done. As Nicholas begins to realize the gravity of his situation, he starts to break down again.
And we've interviewed some of your family members, to be honest with you, your nephew, your uncle, and stuff like that. Who did you tell what happened?
Nobody.
Yes. When you walked in the house.
Dude, we talked to some folks.
I told my cousin.
Who's that?
I didn't tell him that the other person did it. Because I didn't.
What'd you tell him?
When I walked in, I was like, bro, an officer got shot, bro, and I was down. It was like, you lying. So I just left it at that.
Who'd you tell that to?
My cousin.
Which cousin?
His name Cooler. I don't know his real name.
How is he? Tall, fat, skinny?
He tall and skinny.
What's his hair?
Patrick.
What kind of cars does he drive?
I don't know. He be in all type of cars.
What kind does old lady drive?
Huh?
What kind of cars does baby mama drive?
I don't know. He got so many billions.
I got you. All right. Who else you tell?
That's it. It ain't gonna be any way that you think I'll be able to be back home.
Well, here's the thing.
Hush.
I want to be able to be like my brother.
That's okay, honey. We're working
I
on
wish this would never happen. I wouldn't be able to go through this.
Why did it happen? That's the question. Why did it happen? It didn't have to happen. You were just boosting a car. Why did it happen?
I don't know. I really don't.
You have an idea.
I don't know why this happened. I haven't even talked to him since.
Well, there is a little bit of an issue, okay? And you already know what the issue is, okay?
And you're having a hard time with it.
You're obviously having a hard time with it.
Because I want to be able to be home.
I understand that, but I think it's a bigger issue than that.
And that is.
You don't want to say it. You don't want to say it
You
in
don't
front of
tell
mom and
them in
dad.
front
You
of
don't want to
mom and
disappoint them.
We're not disappointed.
No.
Okay.
That's the true statement.
Listen,
This is important what he's about to say.
there's a witness that saw this happen.
Okay.
That saw everything that happened.
Okay.
There's only one person there with the officer.
So with your parents here, we'd appreciate the whole truth. And there's a reason why you did what you did, and he needs to know it. It jumped off quick. We know that. But there's a reason
Scared, why. What? Tell us what happened. You're trying to boost the car.
You're right. The officer told you to wait up. You turned around. There's a witness that saw the whole thing.
Tell the truth, son. It doesn't matter. Just tell the truth.
Say it, son.
That's why we say don't lie, tell the truth.
Just go ahead. And it came
You know they lying about no witness.
Like I said, so we might as well go ahead and tell it. We still will be sitting right here. Tell the truth.
just want to go home.
Tell the truth, son. Let's do this now. Come on.
Let it out.
Come on, son. Come on.
Go ahead and let it
You
out.
did it. You came to the spot. Come on.
Tell him.
It doesn't matter. We still feel the same way.
We're
Just tell the
standing
truth.
for you. We're not turning our back on you.
What did I tell you?
Tell us
Take
the
responsibility.
Just get it off your chest, bro.
Please.
Please.
For me, I'm asking you to do this.
Everything I told you that happened is true, but you canceled your parents out of it.
Okay, then tell us what happened when the officer came up and told you to turn around. Tell us what happened.
You told me, stop. I stopped. I was already scared because my son coming out scared because I had the gun on me. I didn't want to go to jail.
Okay.
And I was really scared.
So what happened? Tell us what happened.
That's okay, son.
Tell him, son. Tell him, son. You already told him. Go ahead and tell him what you did. You were scared. You were scared. You didn't want to go to jail with a gun on you.
What happened?
When I put it,
You put it out. Come on. You already there. Come on. Stick it on through the door.
I thought it was on safety, but it wasn't. When I pulled it out, I wanted my finger on the trigger. Then when I started shooting, he reached for his gun.
Thank you.
I had to do it because I didn't want to die. So I want to shoot now. I'm so sorry, y'all, for y'all. Officer.
Let me ask you this.
Oh, Daddy, I'm sorry.
Nick, let me ask you this. Why? Why? You had a choice. Why did you pull the gun versus raise your hands?
Cause when I pulled it out, he already went to reach it and it
Because
went off.
you were pulling. Okay.
Yeah, it went off.
Okay.
How many times did it go off?
And it went off the first time, it went off, boom. Then he went to reaching for his gun. And as he went to reaching for his gun, that's when the aim got him.
And you shot how many times? How many times did the gun go off?
I don't know how many bullets was in
All right. You shot till it was empty?
there. Yes.
Where's the gun?
I don't know. I threw it.
Where?
I was on the interstate.
You could show us the area about
I was on the interstate.
I know.
We put you in a car. Can you show us where you threw it?
about where you threw it. I mean, you might not be able to, but I gotta believe there's an area that you can show us.
No.
No. We'll go there. You won't take you there.
Yeah, sure.
Did you get nicked at all? Did you get nicked by gunfire at all? Tell me the route that you ran. Oh, and real quick, I'll be honest with you, and you've been truthful. That's you on the video. When you walked by my desk, you had your hands in the pocket the same way that video was. You feel?
You saw it.
You know what I'm saying? You saw that video today, didn't you?
No, we didn't get to see the video.
Oh, okay.
We weren't here by the time the
That's
video
cool.
came out.
All right.
Listen, I just want to be able to see my family.
So
Here,
you're gonna see
Nick,
it. We're here right
your
now.
family's right here, right now.
That's all that matters, honey.
Dad.
You're sorry. You're sorry. You did it.
Nick, you knew the day.
Come on, honey. Come on. Come on, honey. It's done. What's done is done.
You know, one thing I was wondering is which route he took out of there. Did you go past the flat place and through the Tropicana, or which way?
Over the overpass? Over the catwalk?
Now that they have his confession, they leave the room and allow him to spend a few minutes with his family before he goes to jail.
Y'all satisfied? I mean, I know you're not
No,
satisfied.
we appreciate it.
We appreciate him being honest. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what I told him.
that had to be hard.
Yeah, I know it is.
It's not easy.
Make sure you thank your spirits for putting him in jail. But he's not okay.
We'll get you some more.
We're gonna let you sit here with him for a little while longer.
Collect your thoughts.
My other son's still here.
We'll see. I
We'll
think
see.
maybe if he's here, we'll let him come in. All right, fine.
I'm so sorry, y'all. It really is.
Sit tight.
Sorry. Oh, my goodness.
It's okay. It's okay, but it's over. It's over.
I gotta leave this open.
That's fine.
It's gonna be all right.
It's over. It's out of the open
It's
now.
gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right, son, okay? We gonna be here for you, bro.
I love you.
I love you, son.
This one,
They think they did something, didn't they?
I don't want to get nothing over 25. I don't even want to be the champ.
I know it's something, but it was a
When you
bad
made a bad
decision.
decision.
I know you didn't mean to do it. We know you did.
I know.
We know you didn't mean to do it.
Listen to me. Son, you made a bad decision. You made a very bad decision. Do you hear me? You made a very bad decision, Nicholas. That's the choices that we made. And you made the wrong choice. It would have been better for you to drop that gun and walk away and go home.
Yeah,
But you were scared.
you were
And I
scared.
can't tell you that if I was in the same position,
You acted
I
out of
would have
fear.
been scared.
You acted out of fear. You were scared.
I don't love you, Erie. You have to
I love you more, son.
I love you more for taking the responsibility.
Being you, man.
No, baby, they'll
In
get
the
you something
hell?
to
Get
eat.
you something to eat, son.
I'll get you something to eat, son.
You're gonna have to go with them and show them
Yeah.
the way you gotta do the gun.
Come on, baby. Don't upset
Them the
me.
slaves that would have told on you if you had a dead son now.
I don't want you either. We don't want you either.
We don't want you
I want them to be outside with y'all the kids.
Sir, Pete's gonna go and take the.
We know him. We've been knowing him for
The
years.
hard part is over with, okay? The hard part is over.
We're not going
Be
nowhere.
strong.
We got
You'll
you.
be okay, okay? All right.
Hey, Mom, listen,
You got your mama.
Okay.
Mr. Lindsay, I want to appreciate your
Wait,
cooperation. Sit down. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll put these on you, okay?
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Mr. West, I appreciate your
They
cooperation.
did something,
And
didn't
I thanks for doing you did.
You don't keep him out of
Very
the
good people.
camera like.
they? They did something, didn't they? They so glad now for happy days.
There's so much we can do with that.
So
They're actually
that's-
following us around.
Trying to find out. Yeah, it's okay. It's not.
If you want to, in the meeting.
Front.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Just stuff out here, I'm gonna search it.
Nicholas would be charged with murder. The case would go to trial, and his attorney would argue that his parents pushed their son to confess by suggesting that he may receive leniency if he did. When that didn't work, they tried to convince the jury that manslaughter took place, but that also failed. In the end, Nicholas would receive life in prison without the possibility of parole. Because he was under the age of 18, he could not be sentenced to death. For now, Nicholas is housed at the Blackwater River Correctional Facility in Milton, Florida.
Lord have mercy.
All right. Now we see here with our brother come from a two-parent home.
What
The
good
video, the video that the police had of him did not clearly show it to be him. The shoe that when he was running, shoe came off his foot. And so they did not have enough information. They did not have enough evidence because they didn't have the gun. They didn't have enough evidence to even charge him with the murder of the police officer.
I just don't even know what to say.
We saw the parents, and as one of the police officers said, you know, we thank you, parents, because most parents wouldn't have done that. They sold their son down the river.
Yes, they did.
Down the river. Where all he had to do was shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up.
Let them prove their own case.
Exactly. But the parents, they did the work for the police.
Oh, God.
This is a big problem in our family homes. Now, this is the poor side. We got another video where we're going to look at what happens on the rich side. There's a problem, and the answer has to come, and it has to be fixed. This is a hurtful situation, but this is reality. This is reality. Sister Cassie, how would you deal with the parents after seeing this? What would you tell the parents?
Just looking at this hurts because the parents, some Black folk are so slave mentality, slave mindset, right? That they thought they was actually doing something. They really thought, oh man, I helped master. Those are the type of Black folk get you killed. Now them crackers will sit up there and kill your kids all day long and don't I don't care if they saw you do it. They will never say it. They're going to stick together. Ain't no way in the world I went up there and convinced my son to say anything. Ain't no way in the world. That boy is going to go away for a long time. They solved the case. They solved the case. The police. They son got life. What can you say to that stupidity? That was stupidity. No attorney, no nothing. Who needs enemies with parents like that? They were so pleased to do it that it just didn't make no sense. They were so pleased to do it that they gave their son to them on a silver platter. They had no evidence. They didn't have a gun. They didn't have anything but a shoe. As far as they were concerned, they didn't have anything. They didn't lie to say you had a witness. If you had a witness, you wouldn't have needed his testimony. You're gonna bleed them devils over you're gonna help the enemy out against your child? That don't make no sense. I cannot even make sense of that. Those are plantation Negroes. I'm just saying. Master, I know who burned the house down. Those are niggas that you got to kill if you do something in front of them. You have to kill them. Those are the ones that Harriet Tubman shot. Them niggas would have told, we went there, we did this, and we turned up at the street. You had to shoot them niggas. Those are the ones that had to die. Those are the ones that have to die in our community. Those are the coons. That's exactly what they were. They were coons. And they were so glad to please Master, wasn't they? They were too, Master, did we do good? The end was, Master, did we do good? I'm so proud of my son. He going to jail. The hell? What would do this at? They would have solved that case themselves, I'll tell you that much. I'd have had an attorney, and they'd have solved that case themselves. Shut up, deny, just like they do. Don't they deny?
That's right.
I'm just saying, deny, let them prove it. You are innocent until proven guilty. And they helped those officers out. I'm just flowed. I'm on the ground here. I was disgusted through the whole thing. I had to go take 2 blood pressure pills. It just don't make no sense. It make no sense. You set up and gave your child over to the enemy. That's literally what you did. And you know how they need to be in jail for all of what they did to us. And you thought you was helping out the enemy by giving your son, just like we do every day to them. We give our children to them every day. And we don't feel bad about that. We should be ashamed of ourselves. We should be ashamed of ourselves because that's what you created right there, them parents. You created cool. I'm pleasing Master. I'm good. Now what they was waiting on, a thank you or what? What was they waiting on, a thank you? They said, well, now we can see our son. His ass going to jail. When you gonna see him through the glass plate? Yeah, you can see him through the glass plate for the rest of his life. 15 years old.
15 years.
You got some dummies for parents. That's what I'd have told you. You're a dummy. I'd have said some other stuff too, but that's what I could say. I'd have cussed her real good. You big dummy. I passed my mind. I don't even know.
And I want to ask you one more question before I go to Brother Isaiah. The psychological issue with mom and dad, dad says, I respect you even more, son. What
respect him. That's that teaching. That's what happened. That's how you start thinking when you let white folks teach and train you. You taught not to fight back. That's why our kids don't even fight back now. You're taught to, I forgive you. You had a whole white guy to punch a black girl in the face and broke her nose, and nobody defended her. That's the mentality. That's what you allowed them to teach your child. How never to fight back, how never to rise up, how never to do anything but take it. And think that you have to. Think that when we come in the room, you got to bow to us. Think that when we come as police officers into your neighborhood, you're supposed to die. That you can't have your Second Amendment. That's the education that we got. That's the mentality that they do. This is that slow, okay? That's that slow creating of a coon. That's what I call it. The slow creating of a coon. And that's exactly what allowing them to educate our children has done. They've created little miniature coons that's going to help them and take up for Master Because she did Master's job for him. He didn't even have to go in there and say anything. She laid it all out for Master, didn't she? And then, yeah, Master, did I do good? That was her attitude toward the end. Did I do good? Yeah, you just gave your son 1,000,000 years.
Yep.
God. I rest my mic.
Thanks, Sister Cassie. Brother Isaiah, what's your thoughts on what you just said?
What I need to do is just to replay what our Sister Cassie just said. That's all I need to do. But let me just say this. There's in the white community, there's no accountability. You know, they do more shit than a lower line. You know what I mean? The white boy that got put in jail, coming from a rich family, he raped and sodomized a woman in the alley behind the garbage can. He never went to jail. There was what's the name of that rich family? I think in the Northeast. I want to say that. Damn. I think it's very. You would know the name, but they're coming from a very wealthy family. He raped his daughter, 6 years old. He didn't go to jail. There was another boy, white boy. He was 18, raped a young black girl, I think 8 and 9 years old. Taped it. The white judge said, "Well, you don't need to go to jail because it'll be too hard for you."
So that was a 2-year-old baby he raped.
That was you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
2 years old, and judge said, "Nope, judge is too rough. The jail is too rough for him. Let him out if you want to."
Right, and then you got the Central Park 5. Now, I bring up the Central Park 5 because it's similar to what we just saw. Now, I don't know if this young man is guilty or not. You know, it was leading to that from what I could understand. But guilty or not, as our sister Cassie said, you're guilty until proven innocent. The parents had the onus to make sure that their child got the best representation that they could. Now, in America, money talk, bullshit walk. If you got the money, you can afford a very decent criminal attorney. Not decent, but the best that money can buy. You'll probably get off. Just shut the fuck up. Because all they got was a shoe. And he would have probably walked. Now, when I look at the Central Park 5, you know, Oprah got on the case. President Trump, before he was president, got on the case, took out a big page saying these animals should be in jail. So they were crucified long before they even went to trial. And white folk and the media can make an innocent man look guilty and a guilty man look innocent. You know what I mean?
And they knew they were innocent. That's the
yeah,
sad part about
yeah.
it.
And
They
that's
knew.
the point I'm
But
trying
you
to
want me
make.
to sit up here and turn on my son and until I don't give a damn. I wouldn't care.
Yeah, and that's my point. Shut the fuck up. Don't sell out your own blood because obviously, now I don't know the parent, but this is my summation. But obviously, they've been reading out of the book of Negro chapter 56, verse 7. Turn your sons in even if they aren't guilty. I mean, look it up.
Make them guilty.
Negro.
I ain't never seen nothing. I ain't never seen nothing like that. And my mouth is on the floor. Nothing like that.
Chapter 56, verse 7. If your child done did something, turn them into the white folks.
And be proud.
Yeah. And don't raise no fuss. Don't raise no bust. Don't raise no nothing. Just read out of the book of Negro and you'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, and then in the end, the Central Park 5 was found to be not guilty. Now they should have sued the shit out of Trump, out of Oprah, and Oprah got. Did she make money out of that documentary? What her funky ass?
Wasn't that DeVoe? What's the lady named DeVoe? DeVoe?
The lady who supposedly got raped or something?
No. The lady that made the documentary.
Oh, yeah. She made money.
They should have sued her
She made money. Now look, there were two other white women.
Yep.
Get this. they dreamed of a black guy raping her. Dreamed it.
I remember. And he went to
Dreamed
jail.
it.
I remember.
Dreamed it.
Dreamed it.
And then went outside and saw a nigga down the street walking. Yeah, he did it.
Make it make sense, family. I can't. They dreamed it.
Two brothers went to jail for nothing for
They dreamed.
20 plus years.
How do you do
That
that?
white hole made millions of dollars and didn't think twice about. And I'm pretty sure the judge knew that the woman dreamt it. That should have been thrown out right from the jump.
You dreaming?
And if he didn't know, why did not the defense, right? Yeah, the defense bring that up. Your Honor, this white bitch dreamt this shit. It didn't happen. Her pussy just got wet all through the night, dreaming about some long dick that this black guy was gonna give her, and we're giving it to her. Am I lying? You know me. I'm gonna say what needs to be said. The elephant in the room.
Oh, man.
Now, when she saw this black guy, I'm pretty sure he was just walking down the street, minding his own goddamn business. And all of a sudden, he gets locked up. And all of a sudden, he hears, wait, what? Huh? This bitch dreamt this shit. And she dreaming me? Oh, hell no. I ain't going for this.
You had a dream.
Yeah, ain't that a bitch? Now you know the white justice system is justice and just us.
That's right. Justice.
They didn't even give a shit about her dreaming. They just want to arrest the nigga.
And they did too, 20 years.
And they did that. 20 plus years. And he should be and to get this. Yeah, he smiling and skinning and grinning. He didn't even sue the woman who dreamt it and made millions of dollars. I would have bankrupted that bitch.
But wait a minute, what about the white? Wait a minute, what about the black guy that he was like in a college and he didn't even rape the girl and got time, 12 years. Remember that?
Oh, the football player? Yeah, the football. Yeah.
And he
but at least he got a shot. You know, that was a sister that blamed him.
No, that was a white girl.
That was a white girl?
That was a white girl. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Okay.
White girl.
Yeah, but you know, I feel for him too. But you know, he ended up getting his shot in the NFL, and I think he made it for whatever many years that he played. But he was cheated out of a lot of years.
28 years he went to jail for.
Huh?
Isn't this 28 years you saying on the thing? 28 years?
Yep, 28 years.
20 years.
How do you convict somebody on a dream?
And then he comes out smiling. Man, I kill that bitch and go back to jail, man. I'm being serious, man. I would not allow that bitch to live not one motherfucking second. I've been in jail already.
You ain't lying.
So I'll go back. At least I'll be a smiling motherfucker.
Yes.
Yeah, you dreamt it, bitch, but this is some real bullets. You ain't dreaming this shit. You taking your white ass on the other side, and I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna take my black ass back to jail for murder, and maybe get off because I can claim, you know, psychological damage and shit. I'm crazy.
Police officer, don't
Yeah,
get
come
this
on,
much
man.
time. This
No, I will kill that bitch. I'll blow her fucking brains out. 28 years, you living a millionaire life, and my black ass in this. No, hell no. I ain't suffering. I ain't suffering not one more minute. I'm gonna find that bitch and I'm gonna kill her. That's just me.
That dream.
This brother got out of jail. He was skinning and grinning and skimming and hipping and hopping and jumping. And he was happy. But man, come on, man. That doesn't fit right.
No.
This is our legal system right here. That's our legal system. And then they allow themselves to investigate themselves.
If you white, you're right.
Find themselves not
black, get back.
What I tell you about Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 and murdered 2 and got no time. The lady shot the lady door and got no time. Come on.
And what about all the white? Look. The majority. Look, what gets me? The majority of policemen. Excuse me. The majority of policemen in America are killed by white men. 90%.
Exactly. Yep.
Mhm.
But you don't hear about that in the white media. The majority of people who are using drugs, selling drugs, are high and a motherfucker out on the street, living in homeless shelters and all this shit in the street and sucking dick and giving up ass, trying to get that next rock, that next meth hit. Are white folks.
Yep.
They ain't niggas. There were more white folks using crack than black people,
Yes,
but they
they
put
was.
the face of black folks
Sure did.
on crack.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They did. Yep.
But Biden, before he become vice president, said we're gonna have a stiffer. What was it? Drug offense.
Mhm.
If you got but his son, crackhead,
Serve
he
another
didn't go to
day in
jail.
jail. Nope.
Mhm.
They, you know what I mean?
That was
So it's
crack in
all
the White
about,
House.
and this is my point, my people. It's all about money and power. When you
Yeah.
have money and power,
Yep.
people ain't gonna be fucking with you like that.
Yep. That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
Even when you find drugs in the
That's
White
just
House.
keeping it real. In America, money talks,
Yep.
bullshit walk, and I throw it back at you.
All right. Thank you, Brother Isaiah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So, this whole system of things of how they operate. I mean, even the power of a white woman's dream
A
is
dream.
more powerful than your evidence that you wasn't even there.
Right.
No DNA evidence, no nothing. You wasn't even there. But because the cracker had a dream,
Mhm.
is more powerful than your truth of you not even touching this woman.
A dream.
And that was more powerful than Martin Luther King dream. That nigga had a dream, but this bitch had a dream.
28
Long
years.
ass black dick. She just had to have.
28 years. Wow.
28 years.
I can't believe it. I'm on the floor here.
I'm sorry. I'm just going on. But I'm keeping it real.
Mhm. Most definitely. Most definitely. And so this dynamic, the parents, black parents, you got to be good shepherds of your children. They are
Yes.
your future. They are your
Yeah.
future. And you cannot destroy your child. You just can't do it. And like the police officer said, we thank you so much because many parents wouldn't have done that.
I know I wouldn't.
I know I wouldn't either.
Kiss all of it.
You better have your actual facts. Because this
You better
one,
have something.
he's going to be quiet. Period, point blank. And I'm quite sure it puts something in the mind of that child to not like his parents, realizing after the lawyer done told him, it was your parents who got you convicted.
Yep. Convicted. Your parents.
Your parents.
Your parents. Oh, God. Your parents. That's
Your
just,
parents got you convicted.
Man, that book of negolation is a bitch, I tell you.
you ain't lying. You ain't lying. They need to die. They need to die. Put them in jail.
And so this next video we're going to look at is T.I. and his son.
Oh, Lord, dysfunction.
Now, we saw how some poor families of our people handle situations with their children, and they're out of whack. Now we're going to go look at the rich side and how they deal with their children. And let's see, are they also out of whack? And if they are out of whack, both no matter what side of the scale that you're on, rich or poor, then there's a problem with our people. There's a problem with the black family, regardless of your socioeconomic income. So because you got money or don't have money ain't the solution to your problem.
Right.
That we're facing as a people.
Right.
So let's look at this video and we'll come back and we're going to get into it.
Is it on mute?
You don't hear it?
I'm not hearing it. Did you hear it, Elijah?
Okay, hold on. Let me redo it.
I'm never gonna forget that one.
No. And I want to welcome Brother Bakari to the program. Peace and
Ah,
blessings.
yeah, Brother Bakari, I was going to say that. What's up, Brother Bakari?
Welcome, brother.
Ain't good, man. Right here on the west side, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all urban central, all right?
You're upset. You're mad. You can't. You losing. I know. I know you. 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 Ain't no mystery, man. I know you though. I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. You know I stand on business. Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me? No, ain't no joking. Ain't no joking. What do you mean? You are embarrassing yourself and your family. You embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. Man, what is she talking about? Get off me. Man, get off me. Well, you can't do nothing with me. Ain't you can do with me.
What in the world?
You upset. You're mad. You can't. You losing. I know. I know you. 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 Ain't no mystery, man. I know you.
What in the world is going on here with these parents?
Yeah, that's T.I.'s son. Supposed to be son.
Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me?
Who raised him? His mama or T.I.?
You are embarrassing yourself and your
Couldn't have
family.
been him. Couldn't have been T.I.
You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself.
What in the world going on with that?
What is she talking about? Get off me. Man, get off me. Well, you can't do nothing with me. Ain't you can do with me.
Listen, let me not start talking my talk because y'all gonna throw me out.
Don't nobody else believe you.
If I ever get kicked out, look, watch this. If I ever get kicked out of this Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I'm gonna go to the original Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You dig what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? Where's the original Mercedes-Benz Stadium? Y'all stop playing. Y'all stop playing. Y'all stop playing. Guess what? What the Go ahead. I ain't even really trying to walk out with y'all, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah, that boy do got some big ass lips though. Yeah.
Bro, y'all niggas is capping like the Falcons. Y'all niggas don't watch the Falcons. Who y'all watch? What last team y'all lost to? Yeah, because y'all just lost. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to make sure niggas is really like supporting the team instead of just supporting the city. Because when I support the team, I'm supporting the city. You know what I'm saying? Just let y'all know that. I really, you know.
Okay, so this was T.I. and his family. They were at the Atlanta football arena, and his son got excited, and you can see him acting a fool. And T.I. is telling him, "You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself." You know, got physical, lack of discipline, lack of love, or lack a lot of things.
How many children do you think would have treated their dad who's been in their life like that? Black children at that. You think your son who has been doing that, Maurice?
Most definitely not.
Okay. That's the difference in parenting. That's the difference right there. And when Black men are there doing the work, you don't have to worry about that behavior right there. When you're there. But when you're doing all of this and you trying to impress white folk and you trying to act like white folk and you trying to parent like white folk, that's the result of that. When you don't train up a child the way they should go, that's the result. When you're not there as a father, that's the result. When you don't have that relationship and you let your child disrespect you when they 2 and 3, that's the result. Because my son would never, ever, 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 ever. That right there, I don't even have to worry about that. That's foreign stuff to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because that behavior started when he was 2 and never got checked.
Mm.
So now look at what he got to contend with.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to be around white folk, act like them, and not beat the hell out your child when they step out of line when they 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. You let them tell you what they ain't gonna do. That's the result. That's no discipline. That's nothing. He let him do what he wanted to do from age 2 on up, from birth. Never disciplined him. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
I rest my mind.
Sister Cassie, do you think that that parents can provoke their children? Because I know Earth Angel Remix was saying T.I. has been provoking his son way before this recording. Can parents provoke their children and go blow to blow? They fighting somebody.
Can we provoke our children?
Yes.
Provoke our children to what? To fight? To fight?
Yes. Yes.
What the hell? No. My thing is, if you parenting right, there's no provoking you, because you would never think of hitting your father or your mom.
Right.
So being provoked, how you being provoked in my house? What I say go. That is a child that, like I said, that's never, and I don't care what society say. Society will tell you it's okay for your child to be disrespectful. It's okay for your child to hit you back. It's okay but that right there, that's behavior. That's undisciplined behavior. That's where that came from. I don't believe in provoking nothing, because you still a child. So if you got something to say, you better say it. You better go and put it in your diary, and then I better not see it. Okay. As far as you being up in my house disrespecting me like that would never happen. Never. Because when he was 2 and 10, 2 to 10, 2 to 20, I'm going to check that ass. Plain and simple. You'll never get away with that. Even my daughter's 30 now, wouldn't get away with that. Period. That's unchecked behavior. That's how they act when they ain't got no discipline. They used to, them white kids tell their mama, I hate you.
Exactly.
My child nigga did that. They'd have been on the floor. What the hell you mean? After she'd been unconscious. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
My daughter would have never thought about that. That's what that is. From your wife folk telling you how to parent. You can't tell me how to parent. Your children shooting up schools. How the hell you going to try to tell me how to parent? You can't tell me nothing. Can't no judge run my house. I will beat the hell out you in my house. And then I'm going to go to court and tell him why I beat the hell out you. You ain't got to come disrespect me up in my house. That's unchecked behavior. And no, I don't believe you can, what you say, you can provoke your child. Provoke. You in my house. What you mean provoke? You about to sit down and shut the hell up. Provoke what? You have no say up in here. What I say goes. Now, in your house, that's different. Because I can go home then if you getting disrespectful. But even with grown children, you don't have to worry about that if you're doing what you're supposed to do as babies. You got to worry about that behavior right there. My children wouldn't dare to go toe-to-toe with me right there. That's not a behavior that I don't worry about behaviors like that. That's because I took care of that way back then. See, that's behavior that's been allowed to his mama let him talk to her any kind of way. He let him talk to him any kind of way, because I got all this money. Even though you got that money, you're still supposed to teach him and train him and discipline him. Okay, I'll rest my mic.
So, Cassie, let me ask you, because I've heard Black people say this, that we're not supposed to beat our children. We're not supposed to whoop our children. We get that from the slave master, and so we pass that along to our children. What do you say to that?
You disrespect me, I'm going to beat your ass. Plain and simple. You're not going to sit up here and come and disrespect it. Even my granddaughter, when she was 2, she fell out with the other grandma. She fell out with me one time. And then other time she look around, one time she's about to, she thought about that, what she got before, and this ain't the one. See, I ain't have to worry about that. The other grandma, she was falling out with her all the time. I ain't got to worry about that. See, you have to put that in them. And I don't care what you call it. You can call it fear. I disciplined because God told me to. He said, what? Spoil a child, spare the rod, spoil a child. I did just what he told me to do. Every time you go against what he told you to do, then you got that right there. I ain't going to have that behavior. I can't stand disrespectful children. I don't even let my dog act crazy by pulling me when I'm walking her. You feel me? The whole house
Exactly.
is disciplined. You understand what I'm saying? I got a dog,
Exactly.
and she'll sit there, and we walk, and I can walk her by herself, and she don't run off. I can walk her with no leash around the block, and she will not run off. I don't play that. Even my dog pulling me and acting crazy. If I'm walking, okay, but she knows how to walk with no leash. Even when people coming past, she knows how to walk with no leash because I disciplined. I taught her how. Don't play with me. That's unchecked behavior. And no, you can't. No, you can't come up in my house telling me. And I remember one time my daughter had one of her friends told her, you know, you can call the police on your mom. You can call the police. She said, not up in my house. My daughter no. Because they got to come through the gate to get to me. Who gonna protect me until they get to the gate? Through the gate. Who gonna protect me then? You can't do that at my daughter 10. You can't do that up in my house. I didn't play that. I wasn't having no disrespectful children sneaking out the window and stealing my car and stealing money out of my purse. I wish you would, and I'm gonna leave my money on the table. Now take it. Touch it if you want to. And now I have that problem. That's unchecked behavior.
I know that's
right. I believe in beating the hell out of them. I believe in grabbing them up. I believe in chastising. I believe in disciplining. I do exactly what the Bible told me. Now it's a certain way you do it, okay? It's a certain way you did it, and what slavery was doing, that wasn't the way he was talking about. That had nothing to do with it. He told you to discipline. That right there, what they was doing the slavery, that's a whole nother level, a whole nother subject, a whole nother, that has nothing to do with the two. You ain't gonna beat you. You're not gonna leave marks. You're not doing all that. It's a way you do it. You know what I'm saying? So that slavery and us disciplining has nothing to do with it. He told us how to do it. He told us the discipline. He said, if you don't, this is your result. If you do, this is your result. And they didn't, and that's the result they got right there. And I rest my mic.
Exactly. Thank you, Sister Cassie. Brother Isaiah, what say you?
Wow, yeah, it's a lot to be unpacked. You know what I mean? For one, that dude got some big ass lips. I thought I had big lips. Well, God damn. But look, that's not, from what I'm understanding. That's not T.I.'s son. It's another dude that he look exactly like him. So there might be some conflict there where he might be going off on T.I. saying, not saying by words, but by action that you ain't none of my damn daddy. You know what I mean? Well, who knows? But I know, and this is from my own personal experience. I think my daughter was like 3 years old. I was 25, 26, somewhere around there. And so my wife and I and our daughter go out to eat. We took my mother to go out to eat. You know what's coming, Mr. Catholic. You know what's coming. And so I'm talking to my mother, and all of a sudden, not going into the long detail of it, see, I get hit in the mouth. And I'm looking at my wife like, what's that? I mean, it looked like you about to say something dirty. I'm like, what are you talking about? My boy said, boy, you better close your mouth. Close it. I close it. I'm like, God damn. How much you got? I didn't want to tell you. I grew up in the 70s, right? And I can remember, I didn't get into too much trouble because, when I was going to school, I was with my parents. But during the summer, I would go to my grandmother and aunt's house, and my aunt had the top floor, she had the bottom floor, and that's where all of my friends were. I had friends where my mother lived, But the 70s, if the kid did anything wrong, you got your ass whooped by the grown up down the block or on the same block if they saw you doing something wrong. And they bring you right back home, tell your parents, you get another ass whooping. Now that's how we grew up, right? Am I lying or am I telling the truth?
No, that's right.
Right. So we're in a whole nother I don't want to. I don't know what you say, age or something done happened where all of that went away, and we, the kids now, hell, they jacking cars and robbing folks, 13, 12. And to be honest with you, I don't know where that comes from because you know I can leave my kids with you guys, and they be like angels. You know what I mean? Because they scared. They know they daddy ain't gonna be playing.
Mhm.
When I look at them and they getting too far out of the I don't know how you say that, out of whack or something, whatever. They know how far kids, how far they can go, and they know that when they're around other adults, they gotta mind their business, and when they want to talk, they gotta excuse me or pardon me or you know what I mean before they start hooping and hollering. But every now and then they might not do that, but you gotta just remind them. So they gotta be a constant drill of
Mm.
respect, of
Mm.
teaching kids respect, admiration, appreciation, devotion. Because hell, they ain't got no damn job. And
Mhm.
I told my kids every day the only job you got is going to school, getting good grades. And when you are old enough, you learn how to wash the clothes, fold the clothes, wash the dishes, dry the dishes, put them back, because that's a sign of discipline and keeping things clean, your body clean, your mind clean, and understanding positivity and negativity. And I tell them all the time, uh, things in the house and your clothes naturally get dirty. That's called oh shit, entropy. Cause things go from order to disorder. That's a natural thing that happens a lot. You know what I mean? So there's a science in everything. And I teach my kids that all the time. You got to be aware of where you are, how you are, what you're doing, and all of that, and keeping your antenna up. But this young man, I don't know his life story, but based on what I've seen, he might be trying to be one of them street niggas. You know what I mean? But from what I'm understanding, from what I'm heard, second and third hand, is that he wanna be street, and he's not street, and there's nothing in the street that you need to be about street for. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You know
Mhm.
you want to be a gangster and dainty disciple or a Crip and Blood, but the Crips and Bloods weren't like that in the beginning. They were about community. They were about helping each other and loving each other and protecting each other. That had nothing to do with guns and gangs and selling drugs. So if you
Mhm.
want to be a Crip and a Blood in that way, fine. But don't go out here killing yourself and killing others and killing, uh, you know, uh, what looked to be the gang. Hey, what looked to be the gang life and all of that. Because the street life ain't it, man. You only getting
Mhm.
three things out of the street: jail, death, or drug addiction. You know what I mean? So it's all negative, and I don't know why. Well, we do know why. We do know why because damn, what's the name of that group that went hard over MC Hammer? You know what I'm talking about. Talking about gangster life and shooting cops and all that. Okay, no bang, see.
Compton.
Okay. ¿A qué hora tú vas a volver? What predator? Ah,
Como la 10 a las 11.
a las 11. Ok, ok, está bien. No, voy a quedarme arriba, despertado.
Ah, ok.
Ok.
¿No queréis?
Sí, está bien. No, no, no. No, voy a quedar aquí. Está bien. So, uh, this whole glorification of the street where rap comes in, then rap, and like we were saying before, many times on your show before, Brother Muhammad, is
Mhm.
that words are powerful and they can change the whole dynamic of a person, of a community, of a neighborhood, of a city and state and nation. And this is what we're saying in the black community. We're glorifying bullshit and not
Mhm.
glorifying things like uh, very very white kind of songs and shit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Love and peace, and you know what I'm saying? Where I'm going with this. So this is what we're saying that the fallout of this. And this young man, I'm willing to bet he don't know shit about our history. None. He just, got rich parents, giving him this, giving him that, not really showing him the ropes as to what money is and what it can do. And that's even a greater sin than being poor and coming back up rich. Because I can tell you that rock bottom has created more champions than people like this young man who coming from a rich family and connected family will ever be able to do because there's no appreciation. You know what I mean? So I throw it back at you.
All right. Thank you, Brother Isaiah. And we're going to go to the next video. And this video is the video that Sister Cassie was talking about earlier with the white boy and the black girl. And they begin to, get into the fight. But I want to look at this and come back and let's discuss it.
There's all kinds of confrontations that are going on, a divide. People like to say racism's always there. But to be so loud with it is perhaps another matter. White student calls a black student the N-word and then says, you know what, that's not good enough. Breaks her nose. Let's get into this one. According to the Kansas City Defender, in Shawnee Mission, Kansas, a shocking hate crime occurred at the predominantly white Shawnee Mission East High School, where a black female student was viciously attacked by a white male student. The assault has left her hospitalized with a broken nose, and to add insult to injury, Bree, the victim, now faces suspension from the school for 5 days. The KCD does note the assailant has also been suspended. Well, said the N-word and broke her nose. Why go out of your way? Both teams played hard. Nothing to see here. Except she's in the hospital. How did we get here? Some people don't want to talk about how do we get here when they don't like where it's going to end up. I noticed these things. The incident unfolded last week when Bree nonviolently confronted a white female student for using racial slurs and calling black students slaves. After their argument, the white female student walked away, and it seemed the students were peacefully parting ways. We're good, right? However, as they were walking away, a male student previously uninvolved aggressively shouts for Bree to shut the F up. Numerous student witnesses appear surprised and appalled, and Bree responds by asking, what did he say? Male student then charges towards Bree while repeatedly hurling the N-word. Kansas City Defender with the details there. Okay, tough guy. Very tough and angry. When he gets to her, saw that picture, pushes her down, both start throwing punches. The altercation elevated into a full-on fight till some students called for adult support. Witnesses say the boy, a sophomore, started the fight, throwing the first blow at his 2026 classmate. As far as Shawnee Mission East has not directly addressed the hate crime or explicitly denounced it. Following is an excerpt of an email sent out to parents. Quote, as a school and a community, we know that in order for students to learn, they must first feel safe and supported. Staff will continue to do our absolute best to help every student who enters our school feel safe and supported. The words we use matter. Racially charged language, insults, and slurs will not be tolerated in our school. I believe I can make a killing as a PR person. I just really, what are you saying here? It is tolerated. Why are you doing this again and again, day after day? The response from Shawnee Mission East's administrators has been met with widespread criticism from the student body. Many accuse the school officials of failing to address the systemic racism within their halls and also for not directly addressing the recent hate crime. Incident at Shawnee Mission East is not an isolated one. Students report a history of racism at the school, often overlooked, swept under the rug, downplayed by the administration. They recount experiences of being racially profiled and dismissed by school officials, with one student recalling Principal Perez's racist remarks about Black students appearing intimidating, or looking like you're going to jump somebody when they are in groups. In response to what they see as administrative apathy, students have taken matters into their own hands. A walkout was organized to protest the school's handling of racial issues. Students' demands, they're clear: stricter policies against racism, the expulsion of the attacker, justice for Bree, and potentially firing numerous administrators. As the Shawnee Mission East community grapples with this incident, the students' actions highlight a growing impatience with systemic racism and the urgent need for change in how schools address these deeply ingrained issues. Additionally, the district is being very tight-lipped about its response to the fight and the walkout, citing the school's privacy policies as the reason its disciplinary actions have not been disclosed. However, district spokeswoman Kristen Babcock, who said the schools do not have a code of conduct for students in place, said that her team takes incidents of racism and physical violence very seriously. She also said they will follow our policies and procedures while investigating. Did Babcock write the statement? Did she write the statement? We don't have a code of conduct for students. So anything goes. Should be a lawsuit, but maybe they get off because what code did he violate? None, perhaps. Wozni, I am so done with the statements and that they're out of. I had a fortune cookie somewhere here, and I was going to open it today because I believe that perhaps it was a good one. And then I take a little bite of the cookie. That's my little thing. And I feel like that's going to, if it's something good, and maybe I'll win the lottery, these numbers, whatever. This is ridiculous. Is it not ridiculous? And I don't even know why I brought up a fortune cookie or what the point was, but I know this: words matter.
Yeah, I think you wanted the fortune of our country as it pertains to race to be changed, perhaps by the note in your cookie, but I think it's going to take a little bit more than, a delicious dessert to get things going in the right direction. It's going to take some leadership. And just from that statement, we can tell there's no code of conduct for your students, then there's no leadership. There's no standards set. There's no accountability to be upheld. It's just straight up a free-for-all. And, to hear a young man, a young student do that, to me, that's grooming. That's breeding. That's being raised to view your fellow citizens a certain type of way. And to also be so violent towards your fellow citizen, a woman, a young woman at that, is scary. You wonder what the parents are doing there. And it's obvious that the students, a certain amount of students, don't feel supported in what they do. I feel heartened, though, that, this student is being supported by her peers. The idea that students themselves put a walkout together in solidarity with the victim here, I find that to be very heartening. And again, at least one positive to take away from this ugly ass story where this dude is being essentially a KKK member at his freaking high school. And a lot of people don't know this, but Kansas City has a very difficult history surrounding race. A lot of people don't know that. Like they tend to think of cities in like Mississippi and Arkansas and Alabama, but there's a lot of places throughout the Midwest that have difficult racial histories. Not saying it's as bad as it's ever been these days, but the roots are there. And so I'm not surprised that the administration has been caught wrong-footed and isn't being proactive and doesn't know how to handle this right now. I'm not surprised by this, but again, I want to reiterate that it's nice to see that the young people are being the most conscientious here. That's really, really cool and positive to see.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I think you're right. And perhaps in this case, Mr. Positivity, there will be change. But I also think you're right about this young man. Remember, what the description is, everything was kind of dissipated, broke up. And yet he wanted to be a racist hero.
Just angry, just foaming at the mouth.
All right, so we heard them two get their two-piece on it. Sister Cassie, what say you?
Ooh, they so toxic. I'm telling you, even on movies that, I was watching a movie the other night, and even the movie, they were toxic. Everything about them is toxic, period. Separate immediately. Get your children away from them. They treat you like dogs on your job. Then you turn around every day and give them your children. I'm going to tell you what, if she had a brother, I'd have beat my son's ass if he had assaulted his daughter. I mean, his sister, get her nose broken and you didn't kick his behind. I would have given him permission to whoop that ass. I remember back in the day, we fought for each other. We didn't have no, we threw down. We didn't started teaching. They are teaching our children not to fight. Just like that Alabama thing, they brought that dude up on charges for fighting back. You see what they teaching you, right? They making you scared to fight back. They're teaching our children, you fight back, you're gonna get in trouble. I don't give a damn. I will handle that. But that brother should have beat his friends should have all jumped in it. I swear. Or guess what? Or you catch his behind over here at Walmart and wear that ass out. I'm just saying, it's time for us to do what we need to do. But instead of us doing that, let's separate. We ain't got to worry about their asses ever again. How about that? Let's just separate. That's my theory. That's my point. That's this is what I need for us to do immediately. So all of this toxicity, they can continue killing each other. Because if we move our children, who else they going to fight? They're going to fight each other, right? They won't have our children to fight because they fought each other forever, right? They killing up each other, over there, right? That's white on white crime. It don't ever stop. But since our children are there, then they're going white on, black. You know what I'm saying? Then they're going to beat on our children. But no. And then you have the nurse to suspend her?
Crazy.
Make it make sense. You got your nose broken. You got to go to the hospital. But you had the nurse to suspend my daughter? Oh, I'm coming. Because she's going to be there. She had no reason. You had no reason to suspend her. So you see what they're teaching our children? Get your children away from them. Get your children away from them. Because I'm going to tell you what. I believe in putting sheets over our faces, over our heads, and catching them off guard and wearing that ass out. I'm just saying. We're going to do the same thing the KKK did. I believe in you do unto others. I do believe that. All them kids, you had the nurse. This is a girl. This is a young woman that you put your hands on. And nobody in that school defended her. No black boys defended her. Every black boy in that class should have rose the hell up. But this is what happens when you go to a predominantly white school. You think you're doing something by putting your children amongst them wolves? You think you're doing something by putting your children? You think your children is getting educated better than anywhere else? No. So why would you do that? Why would you do that? You can't do that. Why? What are you teaching your children? You're teaching them how to be cowards. But you can forgive. But you can't whoop that ass. Okay. I'm going to whoop that ass, then I'm going to forgive. I hope you can forgive me then. How about that?
That's right.
But she wouldn't have came home with no busted nose. Not up in my house, she wouldn't have. You picked up something, you beat the hell out of him.
Exactly.
I'll rest my mind.
Sister Cassie, let me ask you this. Do you believe that as a black woman in white America, do you believe that fighting is good for our soul?
Do I believe fighting?
Yes.
I'm going to just say it like this. I believe that you do unto me as you want me to do unto you. I believe that. You don't want me to touch you, then don't touch me. If you don't want me to pick up something and beat you upside the head, then don't come near me. Don't talk to me. Don't say nothing to me. I don't have white folk. When I'm out about, they don't talk to me. I guess I have a look. I ain't taking it. You know how some of them videos, the white women be talking that noise? I don't never have that. I don't have that to happen to me. They have certain black folk that they can just look at you and know you're a coward. You have that look about yourself. They can smell a coward. They can smell one of them coons. They can smell when they know you ain't gonna whoop that ass. They can smell it. And they flock right to that person, and you got a whole lot of conversation. Or or they gonna stand behind your car. Or they gonna block your way and get in your own house. And you're gonna explain to them why they need to move out your way. What? I'm from old school. Maurice, I don't know how to, I don't have incidences like that. Because I guess I be looking so crazy when I'm out and about. I ain't tolerating it. You ain't gonna stand behind my car. You ain't gonna block me from going in my house. I'm not even gonna answer your questions because I don't owe you nothing.
That's right.
I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to explain nothing to you. We didn't get so to where we punks with them. We gotta explain why I live here. Where you live? None of your damn business. Where you live? But you gotta get out of my way. Where I live? Where I live? What business is that of yours? See, that's too much conversation. Keep walking. Then she put her hands on you.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But they told you right there. They said they don't even have a code of behavior in that school. That's trickling down from the top. That's why they ain't doing nothing. That's why that's not taken care of. Because the racist is at the top, the principal. That principal need to be visited. Parents. They told you they don't have a code of behavior. They had the nerve to tell you that. But that's trickling down, and we accept it. It's gonna take our babies. They touch you, and I just tell my kids, they touch you. You got one time to tell. Go ahead, you can tell. But they touch you again, you better wear that ass out. Oh, I told you, you can tell. You gonna tell it because I want somebody to know why I'm beating his ass. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead and tell it. But if they don't do nothing, I got you. Touch me again. Touch me again. I rest my mic.
Exactly. Thank you, Sister Cassie. Brother Isaiah, what say you?
You know what I'm gonna say? Man, look. Again, going back to when I was in private school, my parents put me in private school in Minnesota. And, it was fifth grade. I think I was like 10, 11, somewhere. So fifth grade, I go to a private school up in Minnesota. And cool. I didn't have nobody, at that point, I could travel the world. And, my parents treated me very well. The only son and all of that. By my mother, you know what I mean? I'm the only son by my mother. My father had other kids. But I've been blessed to have traveled. Man, I was traveling by plane at 10 years old, going back and forth. I didn't need no chaperone or anything, right? So to make a long story short, I was in the fifth grade, and white kids, mostly the school was white. You know what I mean? There's very few black. And one day, I'll never forget his name. His name was Bill Finger. And kind of rich kid, you know what I mean? Upper class. Father was a dentist and all of that. So he had a room to himself. Bunk he put the beds on top of each other, made his own bunk bed to make more room in the dorm room. So one day he called me a nigger. And before he could, Cassie, before he could close that door, I put my foot between the jamb of the door, yeah, right? The jamb, right, whatever. And I put the door open, and I put the door open. I got a call coming in, but anyway, I put the door open. I hit him in his eye. That was it. I had no problem.
That's what we did back in the day. We didn't tolerate a whole lot of nonsense. We just did.
Yeah. I know. I wasn't taking no shit. Never taking no short from nobody, especially white folks that talk a lot of shit that don't fight. Now, one thing I do know is that you know, my parents, when I got a letter from them, always said Master Isaiah. Ooh, baby. Them white boys are like, Master? Well, I didn't understand that. I'm like, yeah, I'm a master, motherfucker. You know what I mean? But I had two fights. One with that boy in the fifth grade, and the other one, he was in the eighth grade, so he was bigger than me. You know, I realized, like, damn, I can't beat this motherfucker. You know what I did? Cause I played hockey. Everybody was like, "You play hockey?" Yeah, I play
There you
hockey. I
go.
play hockey. Yeah, I'm pretty good. And I got one of the. He was in the eighth. He was not. He either eighth or the ninth grade. And so I got one of my older white friends. He was in the 11th, 12th grade, and he saw me and said, "Isaiah, what's going on, man?" I said, "Oh, man, this motherfucker fucking with me." He said, "Who?" I said, "This motherfucker over here, man." They're like, well, come on, right? He didn't waste no time. We found this motherfucker. He held him in the headlock like this. You know what I'm talking about? Headlock. I took that hockey stick and wore the shit out that head. He was done. You know what I mean? So yeah. I know the white folk can't get out of pocket. They love to get out of pocket because they know they more than likely nothing ain't gonna happen because there's no accountability with these people. We know this, and you know they got the law on their side.
But we have to make
They,
them. We have
yeah,
to make
that's
them be
the
accountable.
that's
We
the
hold
point.
them accountable. Ain't nobody.
Yes,
We already know the justice system ain't gonna do nothing. Guess what? You don't have to. I got that. I don't
yes,
give a damn about no. When you get in trouble, guess what? They gonna know not to mess with you. You have to.
that's
We
my
have
point.
to teach them.
And the wealthier the black community becomes, the more power-based functions and positions that we have, the less of that shit you're gonna see. This is just how it's gonna go. Money, respect money.
But you have to
If
understand.
you don't,
Back in the day, though, what our ancestors do. Back in the day, our ancestors went to town on their heads, pouring off.
yeah,
They went to town on their heads. They knew
yeah,
not to mess with
we
us.
fought back.
They
We
knew,
just wasn't
yes.
lame and blame.
They
We
had
fought
no
back.
money. Talking about fighting back. We fought back. We
Yeah,
need no money to fight back. We got that respect from them. And they
yeah.
knew what not to do to us. Because they knew we
That's,
weren't tolerating it.
that's my point, sister. You know what I mean? So my whole gist of all of this is that white folk know, like a monkey, know what tree to climb. They know, especially this. I think it was two white boys who had their father was FBI agent, and the black kid got rolled up in a mat, and he got beat up, and they never went to jail. Well, we know they did it, but because of the connection, because of the FBI, and because of this, because
But
nothing
what
has
black
never.
folk do about that? That's the sad part
Yeah,
about it. What we knew who did it, but what did black folk do about it? And that's where things need to change. That's
that's
where
my
things need to change. You do unto others as you do unto us.
that's my point. Because see if it uh how did I go? Uh, a bullet will respect a bullet. But if all you doing after getting shot and talking about you got a sign around your neck talking about I'm a man, motherfucker, I know I got a dick between my legs and two balls. I ain't got a question if I'm a man. Now the thing is if I will allow you to deny me my rights that are naturally given. I ain't got to ask you for the right to vote. Who the fuck are you? Or to ask you, can I come in here and eat, Mr. Man? I love your white food, unseasoned chicken, motherfucker. I ain't going. Look, I'll be damned if I'm going into a white restaurant. If it ain't got no black chef cooking,
Too many white restaurants. I want to
I
go
ain't
to.
going. Cause I know I'm getting some undercooked chicken, unseasoned this, not a bottle of hot sauce nowhere. You know what I mean? Come on, man. And this is the result of integration. What Brother Muhammad and we were talking about earlier. It has fucked us up. We don't need white folks. They need us. But they playing this smoke and mirror game, and we falling for it each and every motherfucker
Every
time. We're
time.
drinking the juice
Yep.
without no lemon in it,
Yep.
without no sugar in it, and we just sucking it up. I love it. But you know what I love better than that? White tears. Give me a cup of them motherfuckers. I love white tears. Oh, yeah. I give no fucks about white folks. I really don't. In my life, in 52 years, I can tell you white folk can't fight. You can see what's going on in Israel right now. They couldn't fight in Vietnam. They got their ass whooped in Vietnam and ran up out of Vietnam with their tail between their legs. Every war they fought in against niggas and people call it they lost. But if they won, it's because they had another brother helping them to win. That's the reason why the Yamasee lost against the colonists, because the Cherokee helped them. That's the only way they can win against us, if another group of black folk are helping them fight black folk. That's it. White folk don't fight. They can't fight. They can go to the best schools in America. What's the name of that school? West Point. Do you know they learned that from niggas? They learned that from Hannibal. Hannibal, a nigger. They learned that shit from niggas. No, baby, they can't deal with us. Not at all. I throw it back at you.
Thank you, Brother Isaiah. And we're going to have to do a part 2 because I'm not finished. But I want to go and real quick look at this other video between Muhammad Ali and I think his name was Sly or something like that. And the conversation that they're trying to have with white folks in the audience.
I remember that.
You remember? Okay. Well, let's look at it and come back and discuss it real quick.
No, because I got to have the white man's flag over me, and I got to represent all.
No, you don't. I'll change.
I disagree with that, Muhammad. There are a lot of blacks in Congress, and they don't have the white man's flag.
I don't fuss with the brother on TV.
No, I know
That's
that.
gonna be niggas and fools and white people.
I'm not gonna fuss.
Let me talk to them. I'm talking to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to everybody here.
Well, I'm talking to them now.
Take your hand on my face. I'm talking to everybody here.
Let me talk to them. They asking me questions.
I understand.
This is our problem.
I understand.
You understand? We got to get together.
We're not gonna.
And I don't think politics have a problem. I'm talking to brothers.
No, but I want to change the color of the flag. I'm serious about it.
I'm not. Okay.
You talk about the flag over your head.
If we gonna change the color of the flag, okay, that's a heck of a job.
Yeah. Well, it is a job.
See, now we're getting on stuff that don't make no sense. We're talking about something else.
I guess it makes more sense to Bessie Ross.
Can look at this and see what I'm talking about. I hope the people can watch this show and see what I'm talking about.
Well, they will. They look Mike Douglas every day.
Black people understand.
Black people do it.
But first here at 6, a pair of protests over a violent.
No, because I got to have the white man's flag over me, and I got to represent all.
No, you don't. I'll change.
I disagree with that, Muhammad. There are a lot of blacks in Congress, and they don't have the white man's flag.
I don't fuss with the brother on TV.
No, I know
That's gonna be niggas and fools and white people.
I'm not gonna fuss.
Let me talk to them. I'm talking to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to everybody here.
Well, I'm talking to them now.
Take your hand on my face. I'm talking to everybody here.
Let me talk to them. They asking me questions.
I understand.
This is our problem.
I understand.
You understand? We got to get together.
We're not gonna.
And I don't think politics have a problem. I'm talking to brothers.
No, but I want to change the color of the flag. I'm serious about it.
I'm not. Okay.
You talk about the flag over your head.
If we gonna change the color of the flag, okay, that's a heck of a job.
Yeah. Well, it is a job.
See, now we're getting on stuff that don't make no sense. We're talking about something else.
I guess it makes more sense
I
to
hope
Bessie
the people
Ross.
can look at this and see what I'm talking about. I hope the people can watch your show and see what I'm talking about.
Well, they will. They look at Mike Douglas every day.
Black people understand.
Black people do it.
But first here at 6, a pair of protests. So
Okay, so there we had, I forget the brother's name. I think his name is Sly or something like that. The conversation they were having, and Muhammad Ali was making a point about the flag and fighting up under that and all that. And Sly was trying to cut him off and say this, that, and Muhammad, look, I'm not going to fight you in front of these people. I'm not going to do that. And then, Sly, well, look, we want to change the colors of the flag. We're going to do that. And Muhammad like, come on, man, can we talk for real? What's that with this foolishness? And I play that video because should there be a code amongst us that we have to operate under 24/7 that should direct our behavior? Sister Cassie, what say you?
Absolutely. We have no code of behavior. That's why crazy, stupid stuff like that happens, because you got black folk that don't have a code of behavior. Muhammad Ali was not even trying to argue or fuss with him. He kept saying, brother, I'm talking to them. And the dude was trying to impress Massa. I got it, Massa. And that's so many times black folk will do that. They'll jump on the black person to protect Massa. And you be looking at them like, I ought to slap the hell out of you. I want to slap you so bad, but I don't want to slap you in front of them. But can we go backstage so I can slap the hell out of you, not in front of them? That's the thing with black folk. We got so many coons among us. That behavior was coon behavior. That behavior with no black. He had his black, you see the black face. He had the black outfit. He had the tie. He had the whole kit and caboodle. But when the white man agreed with him, I knew then he was a coon. That's how you know black folk are coons, when you got white folk agreeing with them. If you see a black person with a YouTube channel where they got all these white folk in they, like, there's one guy that I can't stand him. I don't know what his name. I think it's Nate. He used to be a police officer. He got all these white folk in his, in his corner. He makes me so sick every time he come on. You just don't even watch him. But my thing, we have to get to the point where we're gonna support our own, even if he didn't agree with Muhammad Ali. He could have just talked to him in the back. He didn't have to say nothing. But we so apt to please Massa. We so apt to be off code. I have people sometime on my show, or if I'm on somebody else, or YouTube or Facebook or whatever, and you hear a black person say something, the stupidest thing, or I would say something and they come against me, right? And I'd be like, you off code. You need to shut the hell up right now. You off code. I always let them know. We have to establish that. That's something we don't have in our community. We'll go against our own in a minute in front of white folk. And it makes me sick to my stomach. It bothers me. Well, we can't get together and just respect each other. If I don't agree with you, and so many times, Brother Mark, we'll have where we'll go against our own, especially when they're talking about freedom. Where they talking about us being free, when us being separated, we'll sit up there and go against them. What you mean? We didn't try that. We can't do that. We didn't try that. And they come in and blow us up like they did, Wall Street. They go to talking negative. And I'm like, just say you scared. Just shut up, sit down. Let the ones that's ready to charge forward do what we need to do. You have a seat. But you ain't coming, because I don't even want you around us, because you ain't got no faith. You ain't got no courage. You a man with no balls. You can stay your little sorry behind right on over there with the white folk. Go on over there with your brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's what bothers me about us. I'll rest my mic.
Excellent. Thank you, Sister Cassie. Brother Isaiah, what say you?
Yeah, now you know how I feel about Muhammad Ali. He spoke his mind. He spoke the truth, whether you believe it or not. But ultimately, this is what we've been saying all along on your show and in this show, that unity brings power and respect. And being on code is the most important thing. It must be understood that if I'm speaking and I'm speaking in defense or offense, in defense, yeah, or taking the offensive. No, wait. If I am on defense about our people and taking the offensive against white folks, you don't interrupt. If you're one of my people, you let me speak, and if you disagree, you pull my coattail. In the locker room or wherever other private area may be. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we must be on code. We can't, uh, you know, allow any amount of uh, fractional activity going on or broken activity going on where we look divided in any way, shape, or form. And for example, um, you read my tweets on X, and I'm trying to let the world, let not the world, let the people who I follow and whatever. And I wrote to the king of Jordan, to the rulers of Saudi Arabia, a lot of people, explaining to them that, hey, why are you guys not allowing the truth, especially on Al Jazeera, express the truth about these motherfuckers that's not Semite? They have no fucking place there in the Middle East. They have no claim to Abraham. None. The Arabs are Ishmaelites, and you got the Semites. We are brothers, but we have the same father, but different branch, but the same trunk. You feel what I'm saying? But I see a lot of people who are coming up in the game on the channel, like Sammy Hamdi or Muhammad Ijab and some of these other people. They and I watched the video where Rabbi Shmuley, a wannabe Jew, got on Piers Morgan with Muhammad Ijab, and Muhammad Ijab danced all around the goddamn. Check that motherfucker. Check him. Checkmate that motherfucker. Tell him he ain't no goddamn Jew. He's not a Semite. That end that motherfucker right there. Why are you not checkmating these motherfuckers? You just wasting your fucking breath. This is what I don't understand. You might as well just shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down, and just let them talk. Because Rabbi Shmuley, I even wrote to that motherfucker. I told him, and Piers Morgan, I'll be on your show. Because they ain't going to let me be on that motherfucker. Because my book got a white woman with a tail as long as the fucking dog. You know goddamn well they going to protect that image of that bitch. Do you understand what I'm talking about? And I will put a fucking hole up in that motherfucker. Shmuley, a wannabe rabbi who don't know shit about the Torah. He talking about, well, we Jews, we got the right to defend. Bitch, you ain't got no fucking right because Israel's not even a state. It was not given the right to exist by the United Nations state, whatever the fuck it is. Never. And on top of that, you're not even a Semite, bitch. Where do you come from? Poland. Where do you come from? Ukraine. Where do you come from? Russia. Where do you come from? Where do you come from? Russia's not mentioned in the goddamn Bible. Or Poland. Or Netanyahu Poland. Goddamn Polak. So how the hell do you figure that you have a right to the land and you have the right to defend yourself? No. I think that was Article 52 of the United Nations says that when they're occupying the occupied, you don't have a right to defend yourself. The people, the Palestinians are real Jews, Semites. I will blow your motherfucking brains out if you try to come up in my house talking about this is my house now and God gave it to you. Well, take this bullet. The devil gave me this motherfucker. I'm gonna light your ass up with it.
I got a question. Did you say the Palestinians are Jews?
Yeah, Palestinians are Jews, baby.
No, sir.
Yes. No, listen to me. Google it. They are Kohanim. No, listen to what I'm talking about. Listen to what I'm talking about.
No,
they accepted Islam to avoid taxation.
No, sir.
No. Don't take my word for it. Google it. It'll tell you.
No, sir.
They are the Palestinians are Jewish, Semite, and so is the house of Saud.
So who are you?
I am not the same people. Well, but you got to understand that throughout Africa, especially the Igbo, especially in Ghana, especially in other places, we went up in North Africa and occupied that and converted a lot of so-called other people to the not a religion. It's not a religion.
They can't
It
convert.
is a way of life. Listen to what I'm talking about. From that perspective of North Africa, because we were already in Spain, our Muslim brother came into and crossed over the Gibraltar, or the Rock of Gibraltari, which is where the Rock of Gibraltar comes from. And they went into, to make a long story short, into Spain, and our Hebrew brothers were the spies for the Islamic movement at that time.
Who are our Hebrew brothers? You saying Palestinians?
The Moors.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You talking about the Hebrew? Yeah, the people who were already there in Spain. We were already there. The Jews in Spain were already there.
We were all over four corners, but
yeah,
when you talk
but
about
I'm just saying, yes, that's what I'm talking about. But I'm trying to centralize it because I don't want to broaden it out too far. But what I'm trying to say is that the conversion of the Khazarian took place because we converted them.
No, they converted themselves.
No, listen what I'm talking about. They had a choice between either Islam and being attacked by the Christians or accepting Christianity and being attacked by Islam, so they took the middle road, which was Judaism, right?
But they believe in the Talmud. But they serve, they worship. They'll tell you in a minute there's no God.
I don't want to. Yeah, right. You are correct. They created the Talmud, which had nothing to do with the Torah and how we seen our so-called philosophical way of being, the African Hebraic tradition, right? So, with that being said, you got to understand that these people have no connection whatsoever with Israel. Israel is not a place to go to. It's a people. It's not a place. Jacob had his name changed to Israel. And then you got the 12 tribes of Israel, and then you got Ishmael that gave birth to his tribe.
But like you said, those Ishmaels are the Arabs, okay? And Palestinians have, I mean, they're not Shemitic, nothing. Not the Palestinians.
No.
You may have some of the black ones over there, but not them, because God taught Cole. He said there's two different nations. Remember when Rebecca said, hey, why are they fighting so? He said, you got two different nations in your womb. You know, so that's a whole another story. When you talk about them ones that don't look like us, but
you gotta understand too, Sister Cassie, that the indigenous Palestinians are dark-skinned people. They're not the ones that we see on TV. The traditional Arabs are black as tar. You know what I'm saying? But these light-skinned versions of these people came later. You feel what I'm saying? But I don't want to go too far off the tangent. I want to stay focused on what the real deal is. And if you Google, are the Palestinian Jews, it's going to tell you. And that whole story, the House of Saud, it's the same thing. They're Jews. They weren't Muslims. To say that what they were Arab, but they weren't Muslims. You know what I mean? You feel what I'm saying? So when you're looking at it, the people, Netanyahu and other people, I don't remember their name, but whoever is part of that Likud far right political party in Israel in the Middle East, which is nothing but Northeast Africa,
Right.
aren't Semitic at all, and they have no claim. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But the people who have the right to that area have always been there. Palestine has always been there.
Mm-mm.
The people who are indigenous to that area are brown-skinned to dark-skinned people. And you can go back to the 1920s and 30s and look at the newsreel. It'll show you that. You know what I mean? But I'm just specifically targeting these wannabe Khazarian Jews who are not Jews, who have no tie at all. And Israel as a nation is a defunct nation that has no basis to exist at all. Israel is not a place, but a people, and they got it twisted. This is how you know that these people are not Jews. They're just not. You feel what I'm saying? So history will always prevail. Truth will always prevail. And I know that what I was trying to say is that all these so-called Arabs, and I got in the ass of one of them, and I left a message on his messenger, and that you're not even dealing with the subject. Who are the real Jews? Say that. They talking about everything else, but don't matter. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, they don't want to know the
And,
answer to that.
oh, they know. These look. People can play dumb, and I know because I'm hearing little fractions of different things that are being coming out of their mouth. They know it because why? Gamal Nasser, the ex-president of Egypt, said it. We cannot and will never have peace in the Middle East because the Jews left here black and came back white. If he knew it, goddamn, everybody else fucking knew it. You know what I'm saying? They can play dumb, they can play stupid, they can play a fool, but they can't keep on lying. And I wrote to them, and Brother Muhammad even read it. I mean, yeah, read it. I was telling them, heal the wound between the Arab, the Israelites, and the Semites, because for us to be able to regain composure and strength and economic economic fluidity and political sustainment and power again, in order to receive the blessing of Abraham, we got to close that gap. And these white folks ain't it. Trying to protect them for what? Fuck them. And I yield back, Brother Muhammad.
Thank you, Brother Isaiah. Thank you. You know, Earth Angel Remix is right. Religion will do a lot of divide. And we have to remember that the original people on the planet were Black people. And I'm working on a message. It's called the International Nigga. And in that message, I'm going to be dealing with
what international what now?
The International Nigga.
Yeah.
I thought that's what you said.
Yeah. That needs to be a book.
I wanted to be sure.
That needs to be a book. You need to write that book. Author. That seriously. That needs to be
a proper noun, I guess. The N-I-G-G-E-R, not N-I-G-G-A.
And hopefully I'm going to do it this week. And hopefully everybody get to watch it and understand the points that I make on there. But we definitely have to make these points known. You know, we are the original Jew. Those fake Jews over there, that's exactly what they are. And so we're going to have to do a part 2 because we're already at over 3 hours. And I'm not even halfway done yet. So we're going to have to come back and do a part 2 to this.
Yeah.
Because it's very important, you know, and we're going to get into these demons that wanted our families to be broken. We're going to look at a video with these imposter fake Jews talking about how they want us off the planet, that they don't even want the remembrance of who we are to be in anybody's minds. And they're on video saying these things. And so, I want you to be able to hear it for yourself. Because when you hear these demons say for themselves that they don't want you here, that they don't want your children, they don't want the remembrance that you ever lived, that's hatred. And what did you do to them? You ain't did a damn thing. But they hate you so much because they're not you. They want to be you, but they can't be you. They can't be you. But we're going to get into that. We're going to go ahead to closing comments. And, however you want to wrap up this first part of part one, the shame of the brokenness of the Black family. In the different situations we watched, the different things that we talked about, even the Black man going to jail because the white woman dreamed that he raped her. I mean, only in America. Only in America. Sister Cassie, we'll start with you.
What's important right now is that we know who we are. And we have to understand that we are the trendsetters. We are the salt of the earth. We need to separate from these people immediately. We need to stop mixing and mingling. We need to love on our own and support our own. As far as business-wise, we need to start buying up land. We need to start building. We need to start recreating the communities that our ancestors placed us in the first place. We have to get back to the basics. We have to support our own and stop. Like, we have to start recognizing the Black faces. Stop trusting people that doggone well they have no love for you. Stop being a coon for them. Stop. Now, this whole family, and I'm gonna never forget that the whole family was coon. I mean, from the mama to daddy, nobody had sense enough to stand up there and say, we're not gonna do this. The daddy didn't even stop the mama. Nobody had no sense to understand that we getting ready to give our son life. They act like they was doing something. Well, you're gonna come home. You just tell them what happened. Your ass ain't coming home. And nobody had smart enough to say, let's go get an attorney. That's the crazy part. Stop believing people that don't like you. Stop trying to be around them. Stop sending your children to these predominantly white schools. They're not learning nothing. They didn't indoctrinated our babies so bad to where none of the schools have a code of behavior. Don't these schools don't have a code of behavior? They let your children do whatever the hell they want to do. And that's on purpose. Because they know if we don't teach you nothing, we got them jails waiting on your Black asses. And that's where we're going to put you. So we have to get back to the basics. Educate your own babies. Let's change the dynamics. You see what they're doing. You see where it's going. You know that they're sending your child from school to prison, and you see why. Look at the schools. Look at the schools. If they were good for your babies, they wouldn't have been allowed to go to school with their children. If these schools were good for our babies, you think they would be there? They're not treating you right. They're not going to teach you right. That's crazy. And I listen and I keep hearing Malcolm X was the one that said, only a fool would allow your enemies to educate your children. Only a fool does that. And we still doing it. We see what happens. We see the medical field. We see it all. But what are we doing about it? Are we ready? And when are we going to be ready to build? Why aren't we building enough? Why aren't we mad enough right now? As far as what we see every day, why aren't we mad enough to pull our children out of their schools? Learning Curve has a school, a Black school, a Black Hebrew school. And we won't even bombard them with our monies. We still allow them white folk to harm our children, to miseducate our children. Tell us Christopher Columbus discovered America, who was a pedophile and who murdered millions, but got his name on a calendar, and we're okay with that. And now they sit up there trying to take away your whole history, trying to wipe you out. That scripture's true. They don't want you to exist. They want you null and void. And if they could have null and void you, they'd have done it a long time ago. They can't, because they don't have a right to. But we have to understand who we are, and we have to start holding our people accountable. We have to start holding these coons accountable, entertainers accountable. And when these coons get off out of pocket, socket, pocket, whatever, we need to show up. That mayor in Chicago, we need to show up. And I'm just saying, it's time for all of the coonnesses for us to show up. Because enough is enough. I'll rest my case.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Cassie. Definitely. Brother Isaiah, your closing comments?
Yeah, a couple of things. There's three rings of power: politics, economic, and spirituality. We must harness all three of those. The political angle, well, no, let me start with the economic angle. When you are rich and you have money, you can influence policy and regulation and law. The reason why Israel, the nation, has America in its pocket because of the lobbying. That's one. The other thing is that I'm just now finding out Epstein had a lot of these senators and congressmen compromised for being pedophiles. That's another angle. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying it is what it is. When you have people who are in high places, business, politics, religion, or otherwise compromised, and you know you got them compromised because they did something wrong, it's just like the Godfather. He pointed that cannon on his desk. No, the politician pointed the cannon to Michael Corleone and trying to threaten him. Michael Corleone just sat back and just said, all right. And he got caught up in one of the Corleone's brothels where one of the girls died, and he was compromised. He got straight real quick. You feel what I'm saying? There's always some dirt that need to be played in the water. You feel me? That is Machiavellian strategy. Nothing wrong with that. Because you need to do some dirty shit sometime. If you're doing dirty shit like Netanyahu 99% of the time, you're going to suffer. But if you're doing it like 10, 15% of the time, the people are going to say, well, you know, he just messing up just for right now. But majority of the time, 85%, he okay. You feel what I'm saying? You got to play that delicate balance. The other thing is that spirituality is a natural thing for us. Judaism is not a religion. Islam is not a religion. Buddhism is not a religion. All these other religions that we created are not religion. It is a way of life for you to find the way of life for you. Now, I was brought up being a Jew and all I had, bar mitzvah, all that stuff. But I tried Christianity. It was just not for me. I tried Buddhism. It's not for me. I tried Hinduism. It's not for me. I tried Islam. It's not for me. But I understood that in each of those categories, what the bottom line of it all. I didn't need to be no damn rabbi and read 1,000 books to understand that when it's all well and done and come down and boil down, it's about being kind. Kindness. Kindness is the most powerful religion in the world. I don't need to have and know 13 principles of Rambam, one of our greatest rabbis, Rabbi Maimonides Ben Moshe. But I read his works. That doesn't mean I gotta follow it. You know, you never see me at the Wailing Wall praying. That's some dumbass shit. What fucking wall is gonna do for me? You know what I'm saying? So it's all about, for me, being a good person, being kind, being respectful, and living the virtue, frugality, resolution, character, and stuff like that. This is what these so-called philosophies that we now call religion is what it's all about. And the other angle, the economic part, what I want to try to get to the people who are not only listening, if you're still here, but to our group, that we got to get into the three things that will make money for us. Stocks and it's associated with commodity futures, options, real estate, or starting a business with a product or service that you can sell. And the reason why I'm saying that is that I remember these four sisters. They started an investment club or something like that. $25,000 to pay $100,000 altogether. And I think it took them 15 years to grow that money from $100,000 to $500 million. And that was like 15 years ago. They might well be over $1 billion now. So my thing is that we got to find the vehicle to get to where we want to be. And when you are combining that with that effort of other people in the community that have the same mindset, whether it's real estate, whether it's stocks, whether it's starting a business, then you got to do it in unity. You know what I'm saying? As a whole, as a community, because that's where the power is at. And so, I've been preaching this, and Brother Muhammad would tell you that I know, for me, as far as liquidity goes, is that I like the stock market. And I've been talking and telling people about LVGI, which is the ticker symbol, to buy it because $400 will get you 1,000,000 shares right now. But by the end, this is the latest news of LVGI, they will earn $38 million by the end of December. The most they earned was $2 million. So that's like what, 16, 17? That's more than 18 times what they earned before. And they're going to keep growing and keep growing and keep growing. So that stock is worth a lot more than what it's going for right now. So just remember what I'm saying to you right now. Buy the stock LVGI. Take a little money and make a lot of money. And the bottom line of it all is that you got to start somewhere. If you ain't got $400, borrow $200. If you ain't got $200, borrow $100 and put your money on the table, because a lot of people are wasting money in the lotto ticket line, spending $300, $400, $500, $600, hoping that they win. You got one chance out of 10 million. With the stock market, if you buy the stock Apple, you got one chance out of two for it to go up. That's a hell of a lot bigger, a better odds. And if you do your research and you find that that company is a game changer like Netflix, because I was green, to make a long story short, I don't want to take up too much time. Blockbuster was the shit back in the day. And I saw Netflix. You feel what I'm saying? It was going for like 5 cents a share. Just imagine if you took $100, you get 20 shares for every dollar. That's 2,000 shares. It went up to $700. Multiply $700 by 2,000. If I'm not mistaken, that's 1.4 million. So you could have turned shit. What is that? What did I just $200? Something like that? Yeah, $200. No, $100. I'm sorry, $100 into 1.5 million. So it does happen. There was an oil company selling for 3 cents a share. They were looking for oil in somewhere in Europe. They discovered oil. That stock went from pennies to $120. So it does happen. It's better odds than the goddamn lotto. And I will yield back, Brother Mom. Peace.
Peace. Thank you, Brother Isaiah. And I would like to thank everybody who joined us today. Thank you all for staying with us over 3 hours. We initially only intended to be on here for 2 hours, and 2 hours turned into 3 hours. And realistically, as I said earlier, we're not even finished with this topic, so we're going to have to come back and do a part 2. Again, know that Sister Cassie had dropped her channel in the chat box, so make sure you all click on there and sign up, because if we get another strike, then they're going to take us back down. But we'll be on Sister Cassie's channel, going live from there. So it's very important that you all sign up and join those Sister Cassie's channel, so you'll know where to catch the message at. And again, I thank our panelists for coming on and being with us and serving today and feeding our people. And as we always say, you kill the nigga in you, I'm gonna kill the nigga in me, and our God will reign supreme. We are Black first, today, tomorrow, and forever. Love you, family. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom.
And stay Black.
Peace.
So you better get the message and get it straight. You're gonna need some bridge work. It's simple as that. Because we're living in judgment. We're living in implementation.